All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this first run of Fast Pace for Headspace. Without further ado, we are going to go ahead and have SableDragonRook take it away with The Last Guardian. So go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. I'm SableDragonRook. You can call me Sable. And this is The Last Guardian. Did you know that? Did you expect that? How could you possibly have known that that's what this first run would be? Oh, it's on the screen. Okay, so I'm not going to keep you waiting. This is just a cozy, chill kind of game, and I'd like to just hop right into it. So let me give you a countdown here. We are going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. We are going to skip this first cutscene. We do have a donation incentive to watch the cutscenes at the end, but there are cutscenes throughout the game as well that we're going to be skipping because this game takes a bit longer if you watch all those. So, bam. Step number 1. Get knocked out. That's the end. Credits roll. 15 seconds into the run. So we have woken up in this cave. We are this little boy, and we have no idea what's going on. All we know is that we woke up, all of a sudden we have tattoos that we didn't have before, and there's this giant chicken feather weasel dog creature in the cave with us. He's not very happy, but we did notice that he had a spear in his leg, so we're like, okay, we're gonna pull that out, try to calm him down. And now we've woken up an undetermined amount of time later. He's still chilling over there. And if we spent the time to look around, we would see that he's staring up at a barrel. And so I am going to acquire these barrels for him because they are snacks. And we gotta give our good boy good snacks. So there are 3 barrels in this room. And as soon as I have one in my hand, suddenly somebody is very attentive to exactly what I'm doing at all times. Here you go, buddy. So this is going to be an any % run with this game, which is from Team Eco, the same people who made Shadow of the Colossus and I was going to say The Last Guardian, but you know, obviously. Eco. Dude, is this how we're starting? Is this how this day is gonna be? He distracted me. And I have no idea what I was saying. Oh, this is any %. That's what I was saying. We can't really skip any of this game. The developers were very stringent about progress, about hitting every checkpoint, that kind of thing. So we're basically just gonna be wrangling this AI creature to follow our whims as fast as possible. The game is very high on RNG, but with some experience and a bit of luck that we are definitely not receiving right now, we can make him go decently quickly. 3 barrels for our boy Trico. There you go. So he's eating his snacks. He does still have a spear in his right shoulder here that's hurting him, but I'm gonna take this collar off first so that I don't have to do it later. That collar is chaining him to the ground. And so that will enable him to stand up here in just a minute. Mac, another concussion. This boy is made of jelly. He's fine. So we do have the capability to pet Trico. That is another one of our donation incentives, so if anybody ever feels like getting some of those in, I will give him a good scratch right on the nose.
I was actually just going to mention that. Yeah, so if you donate $15, Sable will pet Trico. Just make sure that you include that as part of your donation in the comment. Speaking of which, by the way, we have $15 from C. Coden saying pet the bird.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And as well, we also have a $30 donation from Kata Latte saying, let's go everyone, but especially Helix later on. Helix is running rolled out later. So yeah, thank you very much to Kata Latte and Coden for the donations. So there's one pet Trico.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually wait here. That's perfect timing we got that pet Trico because this pet is actually a unique one if we do it right now. He's shaking off his armor now that he's not chained to the floor anymore. Also, I gave him a badge because he's cute when he has a badge. It's an optional little cosmetic thing, but he's a good boy. Come here, buddy.
He's so cute. He is really cute.
Pet the Trico. So in this specific instance only, the boy will say please to meet you if we pet him here.
Good boy.
Alright, so onwards and upwards. We are still stuck in this cave. And now, I've earned Trico's trust. I've given him some snacks. And he's willing to help me, but only a little bit. You know, he does kind of have a chicken dog brain, so he's gonna rely on me for a lot of guidance. Right now, he will only go where I call him. Kind of. You know, he'll follow me, he'll do his own thing. And I basically just use him as a moving platform. Later that will change. We'll get a bit more specific. Buddy. Can you not? One time I was crawling through this cave and Trico was so desperate for more pets that he stuck his head in there. And it's way too small for him, so the game just totally glitched out. And he got completely stuck in that cave, and so did I, of course. Had to restart the run and everything because he was being so much of a troll. Alright, so we've found this thing. We're gonna call it the mirror because that's what the narrator calls it. It shines light. And that's all we know for right now. Take note, by the way, of this pool. Interestingly enough, it looks exactly like the pool from Shadow of the Colossus, if you've ever played that game. So yeah, we're gonna borrow this mirror. Borrow in quotation marks. Because I guess why not, right? We're still stuck in this cave. We found something new, we might as well take it with us. Trico's been taking a little nappy.
If I could take this time to read a donation.
Yeah, you bet.
Alright, we have a $15 donation from Octini saying, no run, only pet.
No run, only pet.
I'm okay with this.
Yes. Pet percent world record. Here, buddy. Hey. Hey, Trico. Okay, he wants a snack. So I'm gonna show you something else cool that we can do for petting our big boy here. He's got a little spot of blood right here on his shoulder. But if I pet it, it'll go away. So we can clean up our little boy here. I say little boy. He's not little. He's a big boy. Come on, buddy.
He's a big little boy.
That's right. So thank you, Octini. We have cleaned up Trico a little bit.
Another one, by the way.
Oh!
we have a $15 donation from Ori Sky saying, yes, yes, please, yes, pet the doggo. It is required. Thanks very much, Ori.
Yes, thank you. I'll see if he'll stick his head down for me again. This mirror, I mean, hey, buddy. He's leaving again, so I'm gonna clean the blood spot off of his leg with that pet instead. There you go. Rubby rub. Oh, he's got a snack as well. There you go. That pet had an optional objective achieved. He got an extra snack. And we rubbed the blood off of his legs, so we're doing great. So we brought this mirror out of this room. And we showed it to Trico. And he was like, What is this? I don't like this. I'm confused. I'm nervous. His eyes were all sorts of different colors. And it turns out that if we shine this mirror at things, Trico will shoot lightning out of his butt. Because, you know, when you're making a game, why would you not put that in?
Yeah, of course.
So we are going to be able to use that to accomplish some of our puzzle solving. You'll also see, sort of frequently, that I do checkpoint resets like that. Trico is wonderful. Trico is a good boy, but Trico likes to take in the scenery. And so, if we checkpoint reset, a lot of the time, that'll kind of zip him right to me, so I don't have to wait for him to walk. And that's one of the ways that we can encourage him to go faster. So he's afraid of the water. And I have to tempt him down. What better way to tempt your pet chicken dog than with more juicy barrels? Come here, buddy. There are a couple ways we can do this puzzle. I am going to do this puzzle in the, I would say, most traditional speedrun way, which is getting his attention and luring him over here. He is not the most coordinated when it comes to getting barrels out of the water, so I'm going to wedge that. That was actually really nice. I'm going to wedge that back in there so he can't get it. Which is so sad, I know. I know, buddy. And while he's looking at it and being unable to get it, I'm going to use that to progress without him. He'll figure it out eventually. So honestly, less than, whoopsie, 12 minutes out of this cave, when we've had the goober of a Trico that we've had so far, I can't necessarily complain. So we're out. Great, we've made it out of this cave that we don't know how we got there in the first place. And I'm like, okay, Trico, bye. Because apparently I'm a heartless little child who's just gonna leave my new best friend behind. And Trico's like, no, I'm coming with you. So we're free, kind of, a little bit. We're out of that first cave and we look around and see, oh no, we're in this much bigger valley than we ever expected. This entire valley is a big circle. So there's walls like that on every side. And in the middle is this giant white tower, which really seems to have Trico's attention. We don't know why we're here. We don't know where we're going. We don't know how to get out. But Trico's like, white tower though. And as the boy, we're like, well, okay. So because Trico seems really enamored with this white tower, we're gonna go and see if we can investigate it. See if maybe we can get up there. And on the way, hopefully we can find a way to get out of this place. Just once, I am going to attempt that jump. And then we'll go back and do it again. A lot of any percents die there trying to do that jump, because here is a great time to explain. The boy that I am controlling, if you have ever played Shadow of the Colossus, you'll remember that you had a stamina bar, and when those colossi are shaking around, you know, you hold this grip button to hold onto the colossi and not get shaken off. Last Guardian doesn't have that. Last Guardian, the boy grabs when he feels like it. So there's nothing I can do to make him grab things, except for just hope that he does. And that was a good example of him just not. The chain was right there. He could have reached his arm out, and he just kind of didn't. So that's going to be a common theme throughout the run. We may see ourselves yeeted or like Butterfinger off of something because the boy's just like, yeah, you know, I don't really feel like it. The Trico's behind me on a bunch of pillars that he's very gradually breaking. But that's fine. I actually want him to stay kind of far away. I need his butt lasers though, so. Trico. Honey, I'm calling for butt lasers here, buddy.
Paging butt lightning.
He was on his lunch break. So hopefully he's still a decent distance behind me. Because ideally, I would like for him to go no further than this pillar before I see him next, which is kind of why I want him to be behind me. If I call him or if he follows me very closely, he's gonna walk into this room and get his head stuck in this hole because he can't fit through. And that takes time, as adorable as it is. Turiker, where you at, buddy? Oh, he got angry at the spooky nothing through the wall. Yep, I get it. Sometimes he just gets angry there for no reason.
Just like a real dog.
Yeah, sometimes he sees ghosts in the wall.
Just barking at nothing.
And that, you know, that really is the essence of what the speedrun is. For some people, like me, this speedrun is a lot of fun because Trico is different every time. Every time you feel like you're dealing with an actual animal and, you know, it's never predictable. You never know what your time is going to be until the timer stops. Because until the very end, Trico can be a goober. But for other people, you know, obviously that's frustrating and it's not the speed game for them because you can lose. Like, I lost world record pace once to Trico saw, just like that, something that he thought he saw through the floor. And he just sat down and stared at the floor for about 7 minutes. Like, there's nothing you can do. So, to me that makes it fun. And that makes it cozy and enjoyable.
I really did think that Trico was just gonna like eat you there or something. It looked like that's what they were trying to do as you were climbing up that wall.
Well, you know, as far as snacks go, I think I'm a snack, so.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'd just be like, not me, Trico, not me.
He hasn't had a barrel in approximately 3 whole minutes, so I'm sure he's just suffering over here. So we're making our way outside. It's getting to be a little bit wider. We're getting a better view of our world. I say as I'm in the middle of a tunnel that you can't see out of. But I promise, we're getting out there. There's a big wall behind me. This room is kind of confusing looking, so we're not going to look at it. We're just going to assume that this is a big long tunnel. And I need him to jump over the wall to join me. Which he will do at his own pace. Right, buddy? This event is called Fast Pace for Headspace, but this run is called Trico Pace for Headspace. Hey buddy, look at me. Look, 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 look. Good job. I was calling him in a very intentional way to keep him from spinning around. Sometimes he really likes to get some zoomies and run through the sun. And so I was trying to keep his attention on me so that he would walk towards me without spinning. Hi there. This is a good example of Trico being Trico. There's nothing I can do to make him make this jump. I just kind of have to be like, hey, buddy. Eventually we gotta go somewhere. And then he's like, oh, up there. And he has to realize on his own. Which he did. He did a good job. And I am in a very specific spot here. I'm currently glitching inside of his body, but don't worry about that. I was on his face.
I'll tell you what, huge. I'm sorry. I was gonna say huge props to this kid for hanging on throughout all that.
He's got such like grip strength.
He's got a grip.
He really is like superhuman. The way that he holds on to Trico, he just totally face planted off of Trico and didn't even care. He's just like, yeah, whatever. But you watch, later on in the run, I'll make a jump that's like 3 feet in the air, and he'll be like, oh, my leg, oh, I can't. And I'm like, dude, we're gonna be jumping 300 feet in the air onto Trico's back and you're fine. But he's really a character for sure. So you may have noticed earlier on, for a brief moment, because this is a speedrun, there was an eyeball on the ground that I shoved off of the ledge. We don't really know what happened to make Trico scared of those, but he is terrified of eyeballs. So anytime we see one, priority number 1 is always going to be getting rid of it as soon as possible. We can do that in a variety of ways. We can, you know, in that particular instance, we could have shot it with Trico's lightning. We could push it. If you're really lucky, you can kind of trick Trico into walking on it and breaking it. Whatever you have to do just to get rid of those eyeballs. Otherwise, Trico won't progress. And we'll see those as a puzzle in various iterations throughout the run. Almost there, buddy. It's never occurred to me before now, despite playing this game hundreds of times, why these doors are boarded up. I wonder why, because the doors are like Trico sized. So I wonder why they're boarded up. There's a cage here. It's like pulsating blue light. That's probably a good thing, right? That's normal. Pink eyes mean that Trico is scared or upset. But this is the only way that we can go. So even though he's upset, I have to ask him to come down here anyway. So this cage is resonating with his horns, which are currently broken. But that doesn't matter, it's working. And, turns out that I'm a schnack after all. So I just got launched. The potential negative, I suppose, of having a giant chicken dog as a pet. So here for this next little bit, we are actually, like, okay. Somehow we've ended up back outside Trico. But Trico's not feeling so good, so we're gonna have to solve this next little section without him. And as I contemplate how to do that, and also the fact that that mirror, my butt laser's mirror, unfortunately is gone somewhere. As we contemplate all of that, if we have any details about upcoming incentives or just any information of that kind, now would be a great time.
Yeah, for sure. So reminder to the lovely folks watching right now that every $15 donation that we do get equals a pet for Trico. And also we have an incentive. We have a reward incentive for, or rather a target incentive, excuse me, for $150 to watch the end cutscenes after the completion of this run. Coming up later on as well, we have a bid war for the Messenger, the No Out of Bounds 8-bit category. Excuse me, actually, the bid war is for the category itself. So if you want to do New Game Plus, or if you want to do just New Game, we have a bid war for that as well, and that bid war is currently tied at $15 a piece.
Lovely. Thank you for that.
Oh, do I have time to plug one more as well?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. So for Mendez's run of Discworld, we have a $100 target donation incentive to feed the dog in Discworld as well. We are at $45 out of that, out of 100, so we're almost halfway there. And also for The Last Guardian, watch the end cutscenes, we are at $40 currently out of 150, so we've got $110 left to go there. So make sure to get those in if you want to see the end cutscenes.
Nice, nice. I'm glad to see that there's a feed the dog incentive for another game later.
We got a lot of dogs to kick off this marathon, for sure.
So we were going through that tunnel, and we noticed up above that there were some armor guys. Those are the main enemies of this game. This is going to be our first encounter. I step into the light of their eyeballs and they notice me. So Trico, I'm going to need your help, buddy. I know you're not feeling great. Unfortunately, armors are typically something that the boy cannot handle on his own. Sometimes, and I'm gonna try here to get one of them down, but it's really meant that any armor encounters are handled with Trico. Come on, fall down! Get on the floor! Oh, this guy! Look at this guy! He's got the balance of a god! There you go! So this is the extent of the means that we have to handle armors on our own. That was actually very lucky and almost never happens that the boy can handle one by himself. But Trico really, really dislikes these things, obviously. But what he actually dislikes, it's not necessarily clear right at the beginning, but what he actually dislikes is their helmets, specifically. So I'm holding one of their helmets to get his attention, and he's like, oh, this helmet, I'm gonna get it. And that gets him into this room. This is not how you were supposed to solve this puzzle, but it's how speedrunners solve this puzzle. We call it helmet skip. Once he's in this room, you can climb right up onto his back, assuming that he doesn't throw a temper tantrum too hard, and jump up here and proceed without him. What you're supposed to do is learn how to pet him, which, you know, that's kind of our whole MO today, but for this instance specifically, we are not going to pet our Trico. Petting calms him down after a fight. But between him shaking all around and being angry and all that kind of stuff, it takes time to climb up onto Trico, to, you know, get to a place where you're not being thrown around, and to pet him and calm him down. This is the only time in the game when it's required that you pet him in order to calm him down, because the game wants to teach you that that's what you're supposed to do. So if we do helmet skip, we can avoid that pet. And then going forward, you can actually calm him down and get his attention just by calling him enough. And so that's what we'll be doing from now on. It's sad, you know. It's sad not to pet Trico, but it takes a lot of time.
Well, it's okay because I've got you covered. We have a $15 donation from Prometheus that says, "Today starts fast-paced for Headspace. Mental health is way too often overlooked in our society, and I'm very glad this awesome event takes place. Thank you all and much love." And that is a $15 donation. So it's time to pet Trico once again.
Yeah. I'll give him
Hey,
pets.
also, we've reached $100, so thank you.
Yay.
Thank you very much for the $100, $110 raised so far. Keep them coming, folks.
Awesome. So Trico's doing a pre-scripted thing right now. This is one of the areas that some people think is a cutscene. It's not a cutscene. cutscenes are skippable. So this is happening in real time. The game is actively calculating what Trico should do to reach certain benchmarks, like walking around this pillar. Which means that sometimes Trico will do it really fast, and sometimes Trico will not do it at all. I will pet Trico as soon as I have the opportunity. Well, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's do it now. He's got this blood spot. We're gonna rub this blood spot right off of him, make him feel better. Right, buddy? There you go. I was taking a risk there of like a little mini soft lock by petting him, but it worked out. So he was shouting at the White Tower. We didn't really get to see that, but that's what he was on about. He saw the White Tower again. I'm gonna actually see here. Come on. Yeah. Nope. Get around the corner. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try to cheese this puzzle. This is Vine Skip, which I really try not to ever do because it's kind of annoying, but let's see here. Yeah. Oh, did it work? Oh, it's closed. It worked. Okay, so here's what was supposed to happen. Hey, focus, honey. Hi. Yeah, the puzzle's already done. It's broken. Come here. That jug was full of all of that delicious goo that's inside of the barrels. And so Trico was gonna smell that. Honey. Hi. Over here. He was gonna smell that and be like, oh, there's snacks in here. And get really distracted, stick his head through the hole, and not come out until we close that pot. So we were gonna have to roll the pot to a place where we could climb on top of the roof and then get in there and close it. None of that happened because I used a feature of the architecture to get on top of the roof a different way, which means we didn't have to roll the pot. And that means that when trying to charge into the pot to close it, it's not meant to be closed. And so it can be really, really hard physics-wise to get it to close because you're not supposed to. But we did. And so in that way we skipped having to do essentially like half the puzzle. We skipped the rolling, we skipped Trico sticking his head in the hole. That's the first time I've gotten Vine Skip in like half a year.
Alright, mind if I butt in
Sure.
once more? Okay, we have $45 from Ori Sky. Says, what is all this talk about not petting the doggo? Putting this towards the pet the doggo ×3 incentive.
Oh, gee.
So we've got 3 pets.
Yeah. Alright.
Thank you very much, Ori.
Yes, thank you so much. I will space those out so that he gets pets when he needs them most.
Yeah, no problem.
Because if we use all 3 pets all at once, he's gonna get sad. He's gonna be like, I haven't had pets for a while. Come here, buddy. I am gonna give him some pets here. A very long, luxurious pet, even. Because he's gonna get grumpy. He's afraid of the water when it's, you know, big ponds of water, but when it's just a little bit like this, he doesn't mind taking a bath. However, he's kind of angry. He's a little bit upset. And if you look up, you see why. He looks up and sees this, which is actually another Trico hanging out up there. She's leaving, but the damage is done. Our boy is upset. And so I will go and actually pet him to calm him down. Here you go, buddy.
This kid is even climbing up Trico after himself getting wet like that. What a champion.
Right? What does wet Trico smell like?
Also, I would like to say that we are actually $10 off. Only $10 off the Discworld incentive to feed the dog. Only $10 more for that. So, y'all know what to do.
Do it. Do it. Feed the doggo. So we calmed Trico down there with one of those pets. Normally I would have just called him to calm him down that way. Come on, buddy. Meeting him on the way up like that prevents me from having to climb his tail, which is the intended solution to the puzzle. I was sure he was gonna move his head like a little goober. So there's an eyeball over here, which normally he would be upset about, except it's already broken, so we don't have to worry about it. Open this up for him. He's gonna follow, but he's gonna follow slow enough that I'm just gonna use a checkpoint reset to get him to me again. And then we will use our next pet after this little encounter. So he's gonna zip to me. Hi, buddy. And there are armors down here. Armors make Trico grumpy. Yeah, okay, so it's actually good that we're using a pet here because Trico's not gonna let me do this skip anyway. He is jumping all over the place. So what we would have done is try to get onto this ledge and go up and like leave him. But we're not gonna do that because we're gonna pet him to calm him down, assuming that the boy will ever actually grab him. Boy, thank you. You're okay, dude. You're okay. Calm it down. Sometimes you just end up leaping around Trico like 5 or 6 times, and the boy is just like close-fisted. Nah, I'm not gonna grab him. Never. There you go. Trico, calm down because we gave him a good rub right on the rump. And in some way, we'll still do this skip. Like, we're still gonna get... He went after the snack. He actually got it, too. If this were in all barrels, that would have been the fastest he's ever noticed and eaten that barrel. What on earth? So yeah, we did the skip a little bit still, instead of trying to get him to boost us up on his head. But again, we're gonna leave him behind. Yoink! And we have one more pet still outstanding, and I know exactly where we're gonna use it. We're gonna use it to do a pretty cool skip that saves anywhere from 2 to 3.5 minutes. So that wooden thing that I just passed on the floor back there is a pressure plate. You're not going to get to see it activate because Trico's going to zip to me. But Trico's going to walk through the door and step on that pressure plate, and it's going to bring the door down behind him, and it's going to land on his tail. So he's trapped, currently. Poor Trico's down this hallway with his tail under the door. Oh, I don't like this configuration. We made it. I'm gonna go up here and pull a lever that manually opens that door so that our poor boy doesn't have his tail trapped anymore. And in exchange, he's gonna wall up some armors for me. Hey, buddy. There you go. Now, is he gonna realize he's free? That is the question. Sometimes he glitches out. He's good. So I really want him to focus on these armors, and I really don't want him to go down the hallway to the right. If he walks into that hallway before these guys are gone, he'll walk past a scripted event trigger, and that will cause him to like proceed with the next event before he's ready, and it'll bug him out, and he'll be a weirdo. I believe we're good to go. I believe he took out everybody. He's taking a break, apparently. There we go. Trico. Huh? So if he were glitched out...
if I could,
Sure. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. You can go ahead and continue. This is fine.
Yeah. If he were glitched out, he just wouldn't do this run down the hallway, basically, which is really helpful because obviously he's running, and that's nice. Instead, he would have just walked very slowly and weirdly. I guess also, let's put that on hold for one more minute because we're gonna do this final pet as well since we're right here.
Well, I'd like to I'd like to inform you that that will not be the final pet.
Oh, okay.
In fact, it will be far from it, because we just got a $100.01 donation from Aeonic Archangel.
Oh boy.
That's going towards, well, pets as well as the end cutscenes incentive, which is now complete.
Nice.
By the way, thank you very much, Aeonic Archangel,
Yeah.
for that huge donation. And I believe that does that equal 6? Yes, 6 pets.
Okay.
So there we go. Thank you so much to Aeonic Archangel for the $100 donation once again.
Yeah, thank you so much. So here's gonna be the one outstanding pet that we still had. When you pet Trico, he sits down, which is great because then he lifts up his head. And we're trying to get him to do that here. There we go. In order to get up onto this staircase. So it took 2 pets to get up there. So we've utilized 2 of our pets. Technically it was 3, but that last one was kind of piddly. We'll not count that one. And the reason that we did that, the reason that we got up on those stairs, is because when Trico walks in here, this gate closes behind him, and we're like, oh no, we're trapped in here. What do we do now? And you're supposed to kind of hang around and wait for the game to be like, actually, Trico likes me enough that I think he'll do what I say. And you learn how to do commands in that room, which this is a command. We can now kind of tell Trico where to go. But by getting up on those stairs, we skip all of that. We skip the narrator telling us about commands. We skip, like, getting Trico out of that very tiny room with commands. All of that we skip by just leaving. And so we save a couple minutes doing it that way. And now we can give commands to Trico, like jump, which I just gave. Commanding Trico is a suggestion. He is still an AI that can make his own decisions, so sometimes commands don't really matter, and he'll just kind of ignore you anyway. But with experience and practice, you can get Trico to be very responsive to your commands. Okay, so we still have 5 pets left, I think, right? Oh,
That is correct, yes.
Totally went the wrong way.
Yep, we have 5 outstanding left.
All right. We will work those in as we go. Don't mind that I just totally splatted this boy against the ground. He's fine. We checkpointed, just like it never happened.
He's alright.
He's alright.
He's been through worse.
This is kind of a gross armor room. Oh well. So as you can see, Trico is capable of smacking dudes without actually destroying them. We call that Pacifist Trico, and we hope that we don't have Pacifist Trico for the entire run because the fights take a lot longer. So we'll see how he does. What are you doing, dude? Okay, so he's... What? My Trico is confused, so we're gonna just reset this and calm him down. I was gonna pet him there, but then he just flipped out, so...
I'm sorry, did that guy just, like, disintegrate when Trico threw him around? I'm on a little bit of a delay.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, his limbs just, like, completely, like... fell off.
Yeah, so the armors are actually just suits of armor animated by like a blue mist inside of them. So when they explode, they go back into a bunch of pieces.
Okay. Okay, that's a little bit less morbid, I suppose.
Yeah, less startling. No, Trico's not ripping people to pieces. He's just popping the helmets off, and then all the mist inside gets out, and so the armor falls apart. Also, I appreciate, I didn't mean to add the extra scent, but I'm also not mad about it. The extra scent was for a nose boop for Trico. That's what it was for. On that donation. So we've still got some pets. I'll hit those as we go. There's going to be an opportunity coming up here. But we also made the ending cutscene incentive, which is great because you are definitely going to want to find out what happens to Trico by the end of this. Because the place where we stop timing is just brutal as far as, like, not understanding what's happening. You stop right in the middle of essentially... It would be like if you stopped in the middle of the boss fight with Ganon. Like, why would you do that? So now we get to watch the cutscenes and find out what happens. You gonna do better this time, buddy? Also, you might notice his horns are growing back a little bit. He has like a little nub now. I don't mind being picked up because Trico will prioritize saving me, and so that can encourage him to fight. But every time I get picked up, I actually do get more tattoos. So you'll be able to tell by the end of the run how poorly I did with being picked up.
Trico smash.
He did great that time. I tell you, he just goes after those helmets. Alright, buddy. Ready? Boop, up he goes. I am gonna try a solid once to do this swag, like, task strat. And if I don't get it, we just come right back here and then we just proceed and it's fine. But it's cool. It saves a total of 7 seconds, and you lose a total of, like, 40 seconds if you fail, so it's totally worth it, right?
Totally worth it.
Alright, come on, little boy. Get it! Yeah!
Nice.
Oh, I broke my leg, though. I broke my leg by grabbing the ledge with my hand. As you do.
What?
And so the other thing we skipped was climbing down that ladder, by the way. But it was worth it.
And now it's just healed.
Yep, now he's just fine. He walked it off.
What an absolute champion.
He walked off his shattered kneecap in, like, 20 seconds.
Yeah, just walk it off. Oh my god. He's been through worse.
Oh, yeah. And he will go through even worse by the time that this run is over. Alright, so we got that swaggy strat. We got rid of the eyeball that was going to be upsetting Trico. And now, once Trico's up here... Does he have owies anywhere? I don't see that he has owies, so we'll just give him a good rub. Right, buddy? And he does actually respond. The reason that I waited to give him a pet until right here is because when you pet him, he cares. It's not just like you can pet him and nothing happens. It'll make him sit down. Depending on where you pet him, it'll make him lay down and go to sleep. It can make him yawn, which I'll do one of those because his yawn is really cute. Yeah, 4 pets remain. Hey, buddy. Focus. Good job. You got it. Alright. Up we go, buddy. So yeah, he's got little nubs on his horns now as they start to regrow from all of our tender love and care.
That's because of all the pets, right?
It is. It's because of all the pets.
Yes. Of course.
And the snacks. Gotta give him snacks as well. Trico, buddy, can you not? Can you stop? I fell off of his back twice. Okay. Are you ready?
What? He was just like climbing, like reverse climbing. He was like upside down climbing up, Trico.
Well, you know, when you're climbing a chicken dog, the best way to do it is to leap and land face down and then go
Yes.
backwards. That's for maximum safety. That's how
That's
you do it.
just how they teach it.
It's how they teach you in
My
Trico
good-
wrangling school.
My goodness.
Alright, so he's up here. We didn't really get the opportunity to see it because I was on my butt for most of the time, but there was a chain in that room that had a pot of food at the bottom. And that was a fall damage cancel. Very nice. We tricked the boy into grabbing the edge of that and triggering his climb up animation in the middle of falling down. Otherwise, he would have broken his leg again. So we saved, like, 2 seconds or something. Compared to landing and then resetting the checkpoint. So we got this pot of food. And there's a chain in this other room like I was describing. We're going to hook this pot of food up to the chain. And Trico's going to say, "Is that a snack?" And he's going to start playing with it. And that's going to enable us to solve this puzzle as Trico is distracted. Alright, you ready, buddy? He's like, "What you got there?" Good try. Did you see Trico attempt to grab that out of the air despite the fact that he was like 30 feet away? He made the animation for like catching it, but that wasn't even close, dude. Alright, so he's gonna play with that. That chain is connected to this door, which is why I want him to play with it. Good try, buddy. Give it another yank. Anytime now. Take your time. It's fine. Thank you. Alright, so this thing, which I call like an axle, I don't know what this thing is. This big wheelie boy is something that we can wedge underneath the door, but we need Trico's cooperation. I think that when casual players are kind of 50-50 on this game, they get to this part and they're like, okay, this is enough. So if people quit this game, this tends to be one of the places that they do, because it can get really hard to get Trico to help you here, since you have to be coordinated. So he's gonna drop it. That's expected, that's fine, that's not him being a bad boy. He's just super focused on this thing, whatever this thing is. Hey dude, can you stop? Stop! Stop, buddy, thank you. He was gonna charge into the door, and so I'm telling him, no, pay attention to that instead. And this is the power of commands, when he chooses to listen. Alright, now we just wait on him. So while we're waiting on him to solve this puzzle, we got a little bit of free time to hear about the charity we're supporting or any details like that.
Yeah, sure thing. So we are raising money for Take This, which was founded in 2012. Their mission is to decrease the stigma and increase the support for mental health in the game enthusiast community and inside the game industry. Their key programs involve AFK rooms and AFK online at both in-person and virtual conventions. They have staffed mental health spaces such as this, starting in 2014. They also have workshops, trainings, and consulting services focused on mental health literacy, maintaining good boundaries, and supporting employees through tough times. And they also have a streaming ambassador program. And all proceeds from this marathon for Fast-Paced for Headspace go towards Take This. So, yeah, definitely get those donations in for sure.
Oh, this is phenomenal. We've got footsie. Footsie means Chico puts his foot in the air and he doesn't want to listen. I'm very surprised that he went as quickly as he did. But yeah, thanks everybody so much for your donations so far for Trico Pets, which I haven't forgotten. And for watching the end cutscenes to support this lovely charity. Oh, really? Okay. Okay, that was supposed to be like a cool thing where I destroyed the eye in the middle of a cutscene, and instead it just kind of tickled it a little bit and then said, nah. Just pretend that I did it, okay? Pretend that I'm cool. There we go. So he was upset by those. Now they're gone. I'm gonna use a pet here to calm him down a little bit from these eyeballs. And hopefully encourage him to
I was actually just about
go.
to ask where we are on the pets.
Yeah, we should still have 4 left, I think. And now we're giving him a good little rub on his head to calm him down. And get him going for it again. And so now we should have 3.
Alright, sounds good. 3 pets left.
Oh, Chico.
And also, this is the perfect time, I think, to remind you that each $15 donation or more will result in a petted dog bird.
Petted dog bird is, like, objectively superior to not
best
petted dog bird. Yes. He did move on fast. That's because we love him.
Also, if I do have time, I will say that we are still $10 away from meeting the Feed the Dog incentive for Discworld. We are at 90 out of 100. That run is not for a while, so we do have a bit of time to meet that, but it's only 10 more, so.
We're almost there.
And we've also got the bid war for the messenger as well. So new game, as opposed to new game plus, is now winning $60 to $15.
Come on, buddy. Don't leave me behind. Sometimes he will just try to progress without you. He's having a grumpy kind of day. So if you ever played the Last Guardian demo, this is the area that you played. We usually just call this demo area because we're creative with naming. But he got me. Make no mistake, he doesn't have to get me. He can miss. And he will miss, and he does miss. Because as with all of these other kind of scripted events, the calculations are being done in real time in the game, which means that sometimes Trico can be slow. You know, you can be kind of in a weird spot. The game kind of just can't figure out how to line you up with Trico, and so he'll miss. He'll totally whiff and you just fall. So the same thing is going to happen that just happened. When these things fall off, they break the bridge as they go. And that's going to cause everything that I'm standing on to start to collapse. You ready? I'm trusting you. Alright.
Oh, nice.
Yep, Trico coming in clutch. Oh, why does it... Okay. I was gonna say, why does it look like I'm not holding on?
Wow, that cutscene does a really good job of tricking you.
Yeah, it does.
I just saw the slow motion miss, and I was like, oh.
And sometimes you
and
can
then I
tell.
saw miss again.
Yeah, sometimes you can tell during the first miss, which is scripted, if he's also going to miss with his tail. And so sometimes you can, like, genuinely panic during the first part of it. You're like, oh, he's not gonna get me. So we do only have a limited time to solve this puzzle. If you are running the category called Bad Ending, you stop here and you intentionally don't save Trico because you're a monster. And you let him and the boy both fall here.
Aww.
But we moved that pot so that that pillar could come down as something for him to grab onto. know what? He deserves a pet for that. He's just scratching his head real quick. Oh boy. There you go, buddy. That's a good one, huh? Yeah, he's making his little cooing noises because he's getting pets. Good job.
That is a really good question, actually. Why would anyone run bad ending if that's what happens at the end of it?
Yeah, so the reason that I created bad ending on the leaderboard is because the entire run in an ideal world is still like 3.5 hours, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to run Last Guardian, that's kind of the price that you have to pay if you want to run a shorter category, you know?
Yeah.
It's the
So I was gonna say
penalty.
it sounds good for speedrunning purposes, for people to like get into the run. Like I actually really like the existence of categories like that you know, like shorter categories.
Right.
Like for people just to like get their feet wet, so to speak. And like, but yeah, like from a
From a heart perspective.
from a different standpoint, it's like, yeah, like, God, that's just really that's really sad.
It is really sad, yeah. It hurts my soul. I took the world record in it and then I was like, okay, I'm done. You know?
Never running this again.
Boy. Could you just, please? Thank you. Trying to get rid of this eyeball. So yeah, bad ending. The world record is currently 54 minutes, I want to say. So we're not like that far behind that, considering all of the pets that we've given to Trico and everything. And the fact that he's just kind of been a generalized goober, as he do.
Yeah, no, this run's been really fun to watch.
He makes every run different. It's such a joy.
Yeah, it really seems like a game where, like, you know, it's a really enjoyable run, but you are kind of reliant on things to go well that aren't really under your control.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, but it seems like a fun run. I mean, like, I would run this if just for Trico himself.
Yeah, like my sum of best. The current world record for this run is 312 something, 312.50 or something. I don't remember what my time is, but my sum of best is like 305.
That's not surprising.
And so
yeah,
I've had that sum of best for years. But it took me years to get the world record for the first time because a combination of Trico would always do something and just like I don't have time to run this every day, you know? Because every time you run it, that's another Trico, that's another opportunity.
It's also a really long run.
It is, yeah. And it only gets harder.
Yeah.
The run gets progressively harder as it goes, and the hardest stuff is at the very end. I was on a better pace than my current world record probably 3 or 4 months ago, and at the very end of the game, about 6 minutes before the end, Trico kicked me into a hole and I lost 3 minutes.
Oh no.
So it was just minutes. That's literally the final thing that you can mess up. After that, it's just walking around and watching cutscenes. So that's why I say you don't know what time you're going to get until the timer stops.
Mm-hmm.
So Trico sees this big ol' eyeball, and of course that makes him upset. We calmed him down a little bit. But I am going to try to skip the majority of this puzzle. Everything from what the boy feels like to what direction the wind is blowing, I'm not kidding, makes a difference. So we will see. Because this eyeball is moving a little bit as we're on it, and that's going to make a difference. But what you're supposed to do is go through this hole on the right-hand side of the eye, and then do some like platforming on the back, go through another hole, come through the front, and then hop up. I'm going to try to skip the entire back of the puzzle by standing somewhere I'm not supposed to stand. Yoink. Hey, nice. First try. So that saves, yeah, a decent amount of time. Trico's still obviously grumpy about it. And I think we still have 3 pets remaining. I will give him a pet here in just a minute as he comes to meet me. Unfortunately, that's going to be a location where he can't sit down and do his adorable little yawn, but I'll try to save one of those. Because the sound design for his yawns is just fantastic. He's just the most gooberish thing. I love him. Oh, go the rest of the way.
I haven't been able to hear it. I'll have to turn on the stream volume next time.
It's gone, dude. I know that you were still seeing it through the floor, but it's gone. So I can hop down to be a little bit lower and cut down the amount of, like, slow-mo time that I'm about to have here with this jump. But the risk of death is kind of high, and so for a marathon, I'm not going to do that. Hey, buddy, want some pets? Yeah. See, he, like, kind of squints his eyes when you're petting him because he likes it. He has this very distinct facial expression that he only ever does when you're petting him. You got this, buddy. Oh, and look at your horns. Coming back real good. His horns are going to be back in 30 more minutes if we keep petting him this much. So you can actually throw that red pot to him, and he'll grab it as if it's food. I don't know why he does that, but just a little tidbit. Alright, buddy, I'm counting on you. You do this right, okay? If there's one thing we know about games made by Fumito Ueda, it's that architecture has to break. That's just his jam. So I think he was overjoyed to create a game where there's just a giant creature that can break everything that it touches. That's like super what Ueda is all about. And crumbling bridges. We're gonna see our fair number of crumbling bridges. Not unlike the one we just saw. So Trico's stuck on a pillar. There's nowhere else that he can go. He's over there. Hi, buddy. And there is... Okay. Well, there is my untimely demise, is what there is over here. Don't go that way. What I was trying to do, now that I'm back on Trico's back, was kind of show you that there's this drawbridge over here, which has Trico's attention. We're gonna try to lower that for him. But also what I was trying to do was skip a cutscene. Which, in retrospect, we should have watched, because now we're spending more time not. But, you know, that's okay. In a standard any percent, we would skip it, so. The cutscene trigger is up on top of this platform that I fell from. But you have to walk over it, like with your feet. So if you just shimmy like this, cutscene trigger is basically right here. It won't happen. Bye, Trico. Alright, so I'm gonna be spending the next little while, hopefully not getting caught by armors, who are very aggressive, and opening up some doors and just trying to get to Trico. So if we have any updates, maybe on that feed the dog incentive.
The feed the dog incentive is still at 90 out of 100.
Oh, we're so close.
So still only $10 left to get there. Although I would like to bring attention to a bid war that is actually happening later for the rolled out run by Helix. You can choose for Helix to play as Chartreuse the Giraffe, Snowcone the Chicken, or Morris the Rat. And right now, Snowcone the Chicken is leading, actually has a commanding lead right now, $115.01. Wonder where the 1 cent came from. Chartreuse the Giraffe is at $30, and Morris the Rat is at $10.
Awesome.
Oh, we actually just, we actually just got an anonymous $10 donation. Thank you very much. So the Feed the Dog donation has been met. Wow, that was a very timely donation.
That was.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we will be feeding the dog in the Discworld run by Mendez.
Yay. I'm so happy.
Yeah, thank you all very much so far for your donations. Keep them coming, and keep in mind we do have the reward for petting Trico for every $15 donation or more still in place.
Yep.
And I think we're at what, three outstanding pets left?
3 or 2. I don't remember.
Okay, we'll go ahead and say 3.
Yes, we will say 3.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he's a good boy and he deserves every one of them.
Of course.
So also we just skipped this entire puzzle. Trico's on the drawbridge now. What was supposed to happen was we run across that scaffolding and we like jump across and grab a pipe, and that breaks a whole bunch of stuff. And actually, you know what? I wonder. Hey buddy, come here. Come here. The scaffolding anyway is supposed to break, and then Trico's gonna be like, oh no, my human needs my help. And he'll jump over and cling to the drawbridge for you to drop down on him. But instead, we just hopped over. And here's gonna be some pets as well, because poor Trico's got some spears in him. But yeah, we just hopped over straight to that drawbridge and skipped that entire little section there. Boy, could you like take a step away, please? Thank you. I want to clean up his blood spots. There. 1 pet. 2 pets. And we get him nice and clean.
Nice.
There you go, buddy.
Do I have time for one more, by the way?
Sure.
Okay, we actually have a $1 donation from CJ. It's all good. So that previous $10 donation was actually from CJ. Says that was my $10 donation. Sable, tell the people, and I'm interested to hear this as well. Tell the people about your cold hot dog hot take.
All right, I'll make some time for some cold hot dogs, which are objectively the best kind of hot dog, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, real quick, thank you, CJ, by the way. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much, CJ.
We're going to do a quick barrel skip here. Trico is sitting down outside because he's like, you know what? I'm hungry. You haven't fed me in like 5 minutes, and I'm hungry. So he's not going to move until we give him this barrel. And what you're supposed to do is take this barrel and like throw it across to all these platforms and go and catch it before it rolls off. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to step up here because there's a tiny little polygon there that we can hook the boy's foot onto and skip the entire puzzle. So now, apparently I am duty-bound to tell the cold hot dog story. I was doing another marathon when the topic of hot dogs came up, and I offhandedly said that cold hot dogs are the best hot dogs. And apparently that was the wrong thing to say. So let the record show, because I am unashamed, that you get those Oscar Mayer hot dogs with the cheese in the middle. Just like the really low quality but really good ones. Just eat them cold out of the fridge. Because they're pre-cooked. So just eat them cold. Not even with a bun. You don't need a bun. Just take the hot dog and some ketchup on a plate and just eat it. And that is far superior to any hot dog you will ever consume. And apparently that was not the right thing to say. Because, you know, the meme, everyone disliked that. That's what happened. But hey, I stand cold hot dogs, okay?
You know what? You like what you like, okay? You continue to like what you like. Don't let anybody tell you differently. So we have, what, one more pet, right?
Yes, we have one more pet.
Wrong. We have two more pets. Ori Sky donates $15.68. Only 3 pets left for the bird doggo. Looks like it's time for another pet.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Ori, for the donation.
Hey, buddy. Nice eyeballs. Did anybody ever tell you have nice flashlight eyeballs, buddy? Those are handy. You also completely didn't understand a word that I just said. Let's try again. You good? Oh, he is so confused. It's alright. Start again, buddy. This way. There you go. This room is really hard for him to navigate because there's not much space. So he's gonna clip into the wall a little bit as part of figuring out how to do this jump. That's fine. He does have a spear in him, I see. I will remove it as soon as possible. It's gonna be maybe 5 minutes. Because I need him to push down this drawbridge. He's a big, strong boy. Right, buddy? There you go. Look at this smart chicken dog. Come on. Come on, let's be a show-off. Let's get the cutscene skip for the first time in literally a year. Let's go. Go, go, go. You can do it. You can do it. You letting me down, buddy. That's okay. I love you anyway. So sometimes, very, very rarely, you can get him to just really be attentive to you there, and he'll start to jump before he notices this other Trico shouting in the background. And you don't have to watch this cutscene. Alright, buddy. Let's get this spear out, and we'll give you some good pets. Yeah. There you go. And I maintained my pet through the jump. So 1 pet remaining. We're keeping Trico nice and tidy. You know what? I wonder if the pets go for long enough, if we'll actually get intensive care at the end of this run. There's a trophy for taking really good care of Trico. Like, removing all the spears in a timely manner. And with how this is going...
How many pets do we need for that?
A lot. A lot of pets, because he's gonna have a lot of spears later.
Well, let's see if we can make that happen.
So also, the skip to the rope that we just did was not intentional. I mean, it was intentional by me, because I'm a gamer god, but it wasn't intentional in the run, casually. You're supposed to go down his tail, but if you jump off of his face, you go further. And so that's what speedrunners will do, to cut down some of the time that you're on that rope. I see you, CJ. I see you trying to get me to rant about cats. I see it. I just had Mort out on stream yesterday, and I referred to him as the rum-tum tugger of lizards, and nobody got it, so... Sad face. Alright, so... Fast rope climbing here, which I adapted from inside a different speedrun of a poopy game. And Trico's kind of freaking out. You'll see him over here just going back and forth, being like, oh no, I'm so scared, because there's an eyeball back in the direction that we originally were, that he was getting angry at. So he's going back and forth, trying to find a place where he feels safe. And ideally, we're gonna line this up with Trico's cycle, just so. We're gonna trick the game into letting me run on this rope, instead of doing the very slow, like, arms out to the side balance beam kind of thing that we were doing on the last rope. And there's the eyeball. Trico, I need you to come back, buddy. Oh no! Okay, fine. This is actually good, though. Because Trico was not coming back. He was being pretty slow. So we'll see if this actually helps the cycle to line up. We made it most of the way. He getting grumpy. I'm actually gonna stop it there to give him a chance to come back. Alright. Because what? Okay. Did you see what just happened? I can explain what just happened. I got stuck on a tiny little fraction of, like, physics from the eyeball. And it dragged me down with it. Ouch. Thanks for catching me, buddy. You're always there for me when I need you. So, unfortunately, because I got dragged down with that eyeball from midair, as you do, I didn't get to show you the panda plummet, which is when we just leap off of that and directly onto Trico. But it's fine. This used to be the standard way of doing it. Well, aside from breaking your leg. Trico's supposed to kind of stick his butt out for you to grab, but he decided that I would be fine on my own.
Do I have time to plug something really quick?
You do, yes.
Okay, so the last run of today is going to be Chicory by Sushi Kishi. And we actually just opened up a target incentive for Sushi to climb the mountain. So originally, or in the run, you actually do a trick to skip that section of the game. But we just opened up a $500 target incentive to make it so that Sushi has to do that section as intended. Now, I don't know why people on this channel would want to watch something about climbing a mountain, like, or any sort of, like, you know, game about climbing a mountain. It doesn't make any sense to me.
That sounds like nothing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, no. Jokes aside, yeah, we have a $500 incentive for that to get met. So, so yeah, if you donate now, we have something else to go towards.
Very nice. All right. So there's this eyeball out here that Trico is very upset by, as he do. So let's just get rid of that. Hey, Sancho's here, just in time to miss the fact that I didn't get to do the Sancho, or the Panda Plummet. Named after Sancho Panda, the legend, currently in chat. We're discovering it. We didn't get the Panda Plummet because the physics of the eyeball dragged me down with it for some reason. Yanked me out of the air. Trico, honey. Actually grab me please, Trico. Thank you. That was the genuine, the runner is not sure if Trico is going to grab reaction.
It really looked like he was just gonna watch you fall. Just like, oh, there he goes.
And it's goofy because if he does let you fall, the camera like pans up to his face and you just see his like glazed over eyes watching you go.
He's like, what's happening?
Alright, so Trico can handle the rest of the section on his own. I am not a fan of the fact that all of this blood isn't gone from the previous pet, so I'm petting it away for free. Oh, but Trico just said no. Okay. There we go. Alright, our boy is nice and clean. He's gonna make his way up here. You can actually see over there, in the distance, those little cages and stuff where we were earlier. I like to always compare this game to Dark Souls, because they're basically the same thing, in that if you can see it, you can probably go there. The entire world is connected. This is absolutely just a Dark Souls clone. Keep it going, buddy. You can figure this out. Got nice little spiky horns now. Really making some progress.
So do the horns actually grow the more you pet, or is it just as time goes on?
It's kind of as time goes on. Some people kind of think that it does have to do with barrels, but I don't think that they grow any faster in an all barrels run.
I see. Either way, that's really cool, though.
And his wings actually do get a bit bigger as well as the game goes on.
Nice.
As does his tail, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. He was kind of mangled at the beginning of the game. Up here, and who do we see? This other Trico that's been following us from a distance. And she says, no, I don't think so. You've been spending this entire time trying to head toward that white tower? I think not.
Rude.
Yeah, rude. So we fell a pretty considerable distance, honestly. You might actually recognize the place that we ended up. We've been here before. Because it's Dark Souls. Because everything is connected. Okay, so here's the part where I die a lot. I know Walter is still here and can commiserate with me. Trico's okay. But you see that patch of vines down to the left? I'm gonna try to land on that. And the difficulty is that those vines are really far away. So, you know, Trico's gonna be up here trying to save me, and I do need to wait for him to save me because I'm trapped in a tree. But when we make that jump, the game has kind of a wonky way of calculating whether you die, like, as you fall. And it has to do a little bit with, like, velocity and how far you go, and all of that to say, those vines are basically exactly as far as it takes to die. So sometimes I'll grab the vines, and that's great. And sometimes I will grab the vines, but the screen fades to black anyway, because it gives me credit for the death first. So we will see how generous the game feels like being today. And you know, some people just have never had a problem with it, and I don't know what universe seed they exist on that they never die to vine skip, but okay. So we'll see. Trico tried to grab me there. He failed because his neck isn't long enough.
Trico is not giraffe.
He is not giraffe. I do, however. I made a vine. Trico glitched once, and his head, like his body moved, but his head didn't, and it gave him a really long neck. And so he
Oh my god.
for a brief moment, he was a giraffe, and I put it to the I'm a giraffe vine.
I know the very one too.
Uh-huh. I couldn't help
The
it.
skiing one.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, so let's see how this goes. Oh, poor buddy. He's all bloody now. From that big fall. Alright. Give me credit, give me credit! Hey, first try.
Nice.
It takes a long time to reset from that. You have to watch the big long black loading screen, and then you climb the tail, you do all of it again. Oop, also there's a barrel skip. Blink and you miss it. Another puzzle where you were supposed to take the barrel and throw it from platform to platform and stop it, and like, oh no, it's almost falling. But we just skip it. Because again, Trico's gonna be down here. And this time, can you blame him? He's sitting down here and he's like, I really want a snack. Like, if you just fell through a building, you would probably be like, yeah, I'll take a brownie. Here you go, buddy. Oh, that was perfect. Perfection. That landed exactly where it needs to be in order for him to grab it. That was glorious. Alright, so let's cash in that pet that's outstanding to get this blood off of our boy. There we go. Feeling a little bit better. He's a little bit ruffled still. But I think we're caught up on pets. Are we caught up on pets? I believe we're caught up on pets.
I think we might have one left.
Oh, you're right.
If I'm not mistaken.
You're right. We did actually have an additional one come in. Look at me trying to skimp on pets. Kind of horrible.
Yeah, because I think it was one.
Mm-hmm.
It was one, and then we got the donation from Ori to make it 2.
We did.
And then we did one more, and now I think we have one more left.
You are correct. And I know exactly where that pet is gonna be. I'm gonna try to make him yawn. Yeah, we can't be skipping on pets for our boy. Alright, good job, buddy. Now we are going to encounter, for the first time, let me see if I can see them. They're a little bit too high. Over there on a ledge, we'll be able to see them in a minute, are soldiers. Like we've seen before, you know, the ones that have the mist inside of them. But this time, they have shields. And what's worse, those shields are made of eyeballs. Like the glass eyeballs. They're not, like, actually made of eyeballs. This would be a horror game very quickly. But they're made of... You still can't see them. They're made of those glass eyes that scare Trico. And so these are kind of a big deal. Because if Trico sees one of these shields, I don't think that it was intended to be this way, but if Trico sees one of these shields when he's fighting the armors, and it actually stops him from fighting, he'll be, there they are, he'll be more pacifist for the rest of the run. That means he'll be less likely to do well in fights, because those shields make him stop fighting, and I think that it just like messes with his AI. So we really need to knock those shields down as fast as possible, get those broken, so that they don't bother Trico. But he's over there currently being upset. And I'm gonna try to go for kind of a tight timing strat here. You can just knock the shields out of their hands, but if you time it just right, you can knock the shields out of their hands and then knock one of them out of the window, hopefully. So it's one less that Trico has to deal with. I'm gonna try to do that, at the risk of getting caught. Alright, here we go. Schmeck, number 1. Schmeck, number 2. And yeet thyself. Oh, he didn't go! It was close. Oh well. I'll have a rant on the circle button in just a second. Let's get this out of the window. Trico, do you realize what you almost did? I almost met my demise. I guess that guy's gone. Trico just has a real time trying to get this final guy. He always knocks him into a corner where I can't grab his head and also he can't attack him, and then we just kind of stay like this for a while. You got this, buddy. We're almost there. Good. A for effort, okay? A for effort. I got it. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, it's a little late for that, but I appreciate you anyway. Come here, buddy. I'll reset to get him to calm down. Hey, buddy. Come here. We're gonna cash in our final pet and try to get you to yawn, because you're cute. You ready? Yeah, oh, that's nice, isn't it? That's a nice pet. Well, you don't want to lay down? You don't want to lay down? Oh, he got grumpy. We gave him a pet, but he got grumpy, and I'll tell you why. Come here. These are why he got grumpy. Come here, Trico. So these armors don't have heads, which means that they're not active. Like, I can walk right up to him and nothing happens. If we got heads from the armors in the other room and then threw them over here, these guys would wake up. But Trico noticed them and got upset. So unfortunately, he was unwilling to do his big ol' yawn, but we did still get a real good pet. And now I think we're caught up with the pets. But for the low, low price of $15, we can have more. I'm sure that's what it was. He saw these guys through the wall at the beginning of the run. He saw like 3 miles across the map to these guys and was just like, nah, I'm gonna deal with them later, and I'm very upset about it. That was what slowed him down. Alright, onward, my friend. He's gonna step on this pressure plate. That's gonna make the door close. Oh, Trico, you ruined it. That's alright, buddy. We'll fix it. I feel so bad dropping that gate on him because there's spikes on the bottom. But he makes it through. He's okay. Whee! So that jump is fine. But the time that I caught something with my hands and then broke my leg, that was not fine. That's just how this boy rolls. Yeah, foam spikes. They're there for show only. Trico, where do I exist on your body? Okay. So it's another jug of food, like we saw at the beginning of the game. He's going to be really distracted until I take care of this. So I'm going to go in here. If I would have pushed the jug, it would have ended up in a corner, based on where the tracks are. So I'm going to switch these tracks over so we can actually get it to go somewhere. Alright, Treeks. Gotta get rid of the good stuff, buddy. Sorry. You're too distracted. Also, how much must this thing weigh? Like, once again, the boy is Superman. This thing has to weigh hundreds of pounds, and he's like, yeah, whatever. Just another day at the gym. So unfortunately we spilled all of his delicious goo down into the water here. But that means that he can focus on us, which is great. I'm also stuck down here though, so I'm gonna need my big buddy's help up here. Wait for the game to give him credit because he's walking in the right place. The game is just not quite registering just yet. Another element of RNG that we just kind of understand happens. You got this, Trico. You're doing everything right. There we go. So he broke a hole in the ceiling, which might not seem important right now, but that's gonna be our ticket out of here. Hi, buddy. Oh yeah, you've noticed that I'm over here, huh? Well, that's good. I need you to look at me. Because I need you to face this direction so that your butt is directly over that hole. And as Trico shifts around, trying to figure out where I am, hopefully, his tail is gonna pop through this hole. Ta-da! That was the puzzle going well. We don't talk about the times when none of that happens. Oh, or when I get yanked off of his tail. Alright. So we made it. We're free. And now onwards and upwards, still trying to make up the ground that we lost when that other Trico so rudely slapped us right in the face. But look at his horns! Look at his horns! They're basically back now.
They're so big.
So proud. Got some armors up here. I'm not even gonna pay attention to this fight because there are two armors. Trico's a big boy, he can take care of himself. Sancho, I know you're here, so I'll try to do the Sancho step, if I can. The same thing is gonna happen like we've seen a couple other times, where... Whoa. Trico does this fight and then he sits down and he's like, I'm real hungry, I'm not gonna move until you feed me something. He's still doing the fight, so I'm gonna keep... Yeah, there you go, Sancho! And so we're preemptively getting this barrel for when he eventually is like, okay, I'm hungry. The Sancho step that I referenced is, there's actually, for certain scenarios in the game, there's a button specifically to place a barrel on something. But the Sancho step saves a solid, like, second by having you just step up onto the box instead. Found once again by the illustrious Sancho Panda in chat.
Not just a second, a solid second.
A solid second, that's right.
There's a huge difference.
Because sometimes that solid second can be like 1.3 or something, so gotta give it the credit that it deserves.
It is undoubtedly at least a second.
So he had some little tippy taps after he ate his food. But now he's ready to go. And boy, I just cannot seem to get off of his leg no matter what direction I climb. Hi. Get, boy. Hi, Trico. So I gotta do this next little bit on my own. Trico will just kind of stare at me through the window. This was the place where I lost that world record the first time. And the reason why, Trico was in the room that he's in now, and he was just kind of staring at the floor and like through the wall. And he was very upset, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get him to not be upset. And so he just sat there for 6 or 7 minutes, being upset. And the reason, I later realized, is because this hallway connects to the room that he's in. And look at what's down here. We've got an armor down here that he was seeing through the wall, even though if you look from the other side, you can't see it. So I think that he, just like previously when I was petting him, he noticed it, and then he got angry. So, as per normal, Trico breaks everything, especially if it's a bridge. That was close. Trico, I'm hanging a little low, buddy. Help. You could see his shadow getting really confused. The game was having a hard time, like, populating him properly in that area.
So from that angle, it looked like he just, like, bit your head, like, at your neck. Like, what in the world?
You have to applaud his accuracy.
Yeah, like, I think it was your arm, or was it actually your head?
I think it was the back of my shirt, but, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. Then again, if the boy got his arm maunched, like, would he even be able to tell the difference? Is he even a sentient being?
Probably not.
At this point. He got a concussion twice in, like, 30 seconds at the beginning of the game. I'm not sure he even really cares.
Yeah, I feel like his head would have just grown back in, like, 20 seconds.
Yeah. He would have hobbled around for 20 seconds, but then then it would have come back.
Or he just have a broken leg, one or the other.
So I'm gonna try, this is essentially the only glitch in the entire run, and Trico's trying to interrupt me. Okay. So here's what happens. When we touch down there, the enemies in the next room start to spawn. But I say start to spawn. So, ooh, it didn't work. Sometimes, if you do it fast enough, only this guy in the back with the spear will spawn. Because it starts the spawning process from that part of the room and then moves forward. So if you reset the checkpoint before all of them load in, then all of them won't be here. So we try to do that, but honestly what happened was the Trico forced me to jump kind of far back because he turned his head in a weird way. That's fine. It's not really that much of a difference doing this fight with 1 armor versus 4. Trico still basically got it under control. Yeah, Walter's got it. If you land too far to the right, it doesn't work, so Trico forced me to the right by turning his head, which he doesn't usually do, but that's okay. In fact, I would kind of prefer it this way, because when there's only 1 armor, and there's supposed to be 4, you destroy that 1 armor, and then the game is like, okay, there's still 3 more. And so it never stops playing the battle music, because those 3 aren't gone. And that can get pretty annoying, so I'm not necessarily disappointed. Good job, dude. Good chicken dog. If this were an all barrels run, this is where the soul exits the body of every runner during an all barrels run. Because there's a barrel up top, above where we are currently, and you need to get Trico to put a helmet, or like, to have a helmet on this thing, shoot it up here through this grate, and get it to stay up there. Pretty sure the last time I did all barrels in a marathon, I lost 17 minutes to that split. So we don't have to do that, thankfully.
My god.
It's brutal. Yeah, any percent is... You graciously spared from having to do that at any percent. Are you coming, buddy? There you are. All Barrels runs, the world record is like 350-ish? Maybe like a 352? I can't remember. And you would think I would remember because it's mine, but I don't. So it's like a 352-ish. And the world record for any percent is 312. So it's a pretty significant difference. And it's weird because some portions of the game, there are like no barrels. It's basically like you're playing at any percent for half an hour. And then you get to a section that has 6 barrels in the span of like 2 minutes. So they're kind of weirdly placed. But some are very challenging. That one is very challenging. There's one where you have to drag Trico's tail over a ledge to get to one. And that's always the time when Trico decides he has the zoomies. So that one can be really hard. Come on, buddy. You're almost there. Are you confused? I understand. It is still shorter than plat percent. Plat percent is 11 hours and 55 minutes. I have it in me to do a plat percent once per year. Okay, I was just low-key standing in this corner to see if I could get Trico to do something cool, but he didn't, and I didn't really expect him to. Onwards and upwards, my feathery friend. And here we are, face to face once again with water. So Trico trusts me a lot more than the last time he did when we were in water. So now all I'm gonna have to do is call him and he'll actually follow me. Which is good. So we don't need to entice him with snacks. Yeah, Sancho, that's what I was going for. I was going for poops. And then once we get through these water puzzles, we'll have a little bit of downtime. Which will be a good opportunity to hear about some cool charity stuff and such. So we're almost there, probably 3 minutes or so. Unless Trico decides he's got the zoomies. Which, you know, I believe. So, for casual players, these puzzles can be really confusing, because what did it matter that I just opened that door, right? What you can't see is way down at the bottom here. When you open that door up above, you open this one too. And that's true for this puzzle and the next puzzle that we're going into now. So when we hit those levers, we're opening this door for Trico. And that's why we're doing these puzzles. The Trico behind me is getting up onto a cliff. And that's going to be important. I'm intentionally not calling him, because when he jumps off that cliff, he's going to make a big wave, because he is a big boy. And I'm going to use that wave to boost me up to where this lever is. I think that that's really clever, but it drove me nuts. The first time that I played the game, I had no idea what to do. Come on, buddy. Good job. Whew. Jeriker, don't leave me. Focus. Thank you. Don't go back to that island. Okay, so the door down below is open. And assuming that Trico goes down here, we've got a smidge of free time. Who knows what's in the water?
So now's a good time to talk a bit?
Yep, now's a great time.
Oh, sorry. All right, cool. So first and foremost, thank you everybody for watching Fast Pace for Headspace. We are raising money for Take This, a mental health support charity for the gaming community, whose mission is to decrease the stigma and increase the support for mental health in the game enthusiast community and inside the game industry. Their vision is a game community that welcomes and supports people experiencing mental health challenges and that recognizes um, the humanity and mental health of game creators. They were founded in 2012, and their key programs
また
involve
見せた
AFK
な。
rooms and
男
AFK
と
Online that are
見た
seen in both
風
in-person
あ
and
らさい
virtual
にやせ
conventions. Workshops, trainings, and consulting services focused on mental health literacy, maintaining good boundaries, and supporting employees through tough times. And they also have a streaming ambassador program as well. With that being said, we actually have an $18.31 donation from Anonymous that says Pet the Trico.
Yeah.
And yeah, friendly reminder that from now until about 3 or so hours into the run, we
Mhm.
do have the rewards or the reward system for every $15 or more donation that we get equals a pet for Trico. So
Very nice. Thank you for that pet.
yeah. And with that, we have reached $300 for the marathon. We are already 10% of the way to our final goal. So thank y'all so much. Thank you very, very much. And once again, all proceeds from this marathon go towards Take This. So thank you so much for helping this amazing charity. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, y'all are awesome, okay? Like, you're great.
You're awesome. You're awesome. This run's going really awesome as well. I've been enjoying this run.
Hey,
I've been enjoying
I'm
the
having
heck out
fun.
of this run.
But I just like Trico. As far as time goes, we're like I could stand to be 7 minutes ahead of where I am right now. But that's okay.
It is what
Because-
it is. It's a marathon.
Yeah, and like when Trico's a goober, I'm so happy when he's a goober at a marathon, you know? Because you're not gonna often get to see that like during a speed run. You're not gonna see him like kick me out of windows or things like that. So I would love for people to be able to see his wackiness. And that makes me happy. And it's worth the time loss. So when we opened that door for Trico underneath the water, Trico was like, okay, I'ma swim through. And if you couldn't guess, Trico's lungs are a bit bigger than ours. So he had no problem. And we, on the other hand, were like, well, okay, I don't have air anymore. And so we drowned a little bit. He left us. I guess he didn't realize. But here's some Trico feathers. So we're separated right now. And we need to find a way to get back to our best boy before I can give him that luxurious pet. Which I will do. So we're trying to find where our friend has gone. We saw some Trico feathers down below. Here's a Trico tail. So let's keep going this way. And a foot we just saw. Unfortunately, this is not our Trico. This is the other Trico, the grumpy Trico. The one that had slapped our Trico right in the face. Can you not? Well, now she slapped me right in the face. So she's just kind of having a bad day. And the reason for that probably, it's not entirely clear even by the end of the game, but it's probably that she's wearing a helmet. And that's making her be angry. And because Trico was wearing a helmet at the beginning too, remember? And then he shook his helmet off and now he's really friendly, so. We're gonna try to sneak past her. It could also be that she's not getting any pets. This is true. But to be fair,
I wonder how we could remedy this.
he's also kind of making it hard to give her pets when she's being so grumpy. So So we gotta wait for her to pop through, specifically this hole. We could have made it through, like, across the first one without her, but we needed her for that second one. But alright, we're free! We're away from her! She can't get in here, so we're safe. Still doesn't help us with finding our own Trico, but... So just like that elevator that we took when we woke up, this thing is an elevator. We're gonna hop in here and get the heck out of this place. So once again, she says no, because everything has to be about her. So I was trying to get away, and she decided no, you have to stay here, and now I'm trapped in this cage. This is Cage Puzzle. Or the beginnings of Cage Puzzle, at least. Well, she's really tossing me today. So this noise begins. And you'll see her horns are resonating with that noise. And so she's headed off to check whatever's going on with that noise. Which means I'm here all by my lonesome. No Trico. Still don't have that mirror that we had at the beginning of the game. We're really just kind of all alone and in a cage. So the narrator is going to, after a while, say, well, seems like I was there for an eternity. Which means we do actually kind of have to wait an eternity. We're gonna be sitting here on a timer for a little bit as we wait for this to progress. And whether I move or not doesn't really matter. So how are y'all doing today? You having a good day?
I'm doing great.
Glad to hear it.
How about everyone else? Y'all enjoying this run so far?
We still got one.
I know I am, for sure.
We've still got one outstanding pet, but my poor Trico isn't here right now. We were deceived. We were deceived by the Trico feathers into thinking we would be reunited. Yeah, isn't this such a comfy game? I love this game so much.
It really is. It really is. Yeah, this was like... I think this was probably the perfect game to lead off the marathon with, honestly.
And it only gets better the more that you, like, watch it and do it, because the more you get familiar with Trico, the more you can tell, like, when he's being a goober, right? When he subverts your expectations in goofy ways.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that this is a very unique speedrun in that it's super comfy, super cozy, and yet still, like, very nuanced as far as speedruns go. There's a lot to know and a lot to do. Even when it seems like I'm just standing on Trico waiting for him to do something, I'm usually not just doing that. So I really like it as a run.
Well, I have this opportunity, by the way. I'm going to say we have a $5 donation, by the way, from What's Going On 24, with just a smiley face as a comment. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that comment. Thank you very much for the $5.
What do we have here? Could it be? Anytime now. Yep, there you go. It's Trico!
There he is.
It's our Trico. So this is Cage Puzzle proper. A lot of runners will tell you that this part is, you know, it's not one of the highlights of the run. It's very challenging. Lots of runs die here. Because this cage does not roll in a straight line. And so you're combining that with the fact that you need Trico to help you. And suddenly there's a lot of stuff that could go wrong, right? And unfortunately, part of the problem with this puzzle is that Trico is too helpful. Which, how could that be possible for our good boy to be too helpful? But if he pushes me up here and then he decides that I still need help. Sometimes he'll like paw at my cage or he'll push me again and again, and all he does is just shove me into a corner. So this can definitely be really challenging. You ready, buddy? You ready? You got this. I gave you see that badge on your neck? I gave you that badge because you're a good boy. And I could take it away. Okay, well first we need to actually go somewhere, honey. Yeah, I need you to do the thing, alright? Alright, here we go. Good push, buddy. Push up. Up, up, up. Not sideways. Up. Good job. Oh, this is gross. That's okay. That's okay, Trico. Now just... I love you, but leave me alone, okay? Swing it. No, honey, I need you to leave me alone. Leave it. It's like when a dog picks up something from the floor and you're like, no, no, leave it. Put it down.
Drop it.
Yep.
Drop it.
Alright. We made it. That was a really gross start, but we worked it into something manageable. So that was step number 1. But yeah, like just learning this cage is one of the biggest practice areas, I would say, for this run. Learning how it moves, learning how to get it unstuck. Because it's not as simple as like if you get stuck in a corner, you just walk backwards and then try to turn tighter, because that doesn't work. That doesn't happen. So it could definitely be a challenge. Is this how we're gonna do this today? Okay. We made it. So next, I must be yote. I need to yeet across a chasm in my cage. And we hope that I make it far enough and that I don't get stuck in a corner and that Trico doesn't trap me. We hope a lot of things. So down there, where we started earlier on, there's an empty pod. And if I can roll myself into it, it'll open this elevator. Let us go! Nice launch. Well, you know, suddenly I'm not liking it as much. I don't like being in the middle here, but I might be able to... I should be able to make this work. Yeah, okay, that was fine. I've broken my leg because... you know, reasons. So we're just gonna walk that off. Hi, buddy! So Trico's back. And he's immediately hungry because he's been separated from me for a long time. Casually. In a speed run, it's been like 10 minutes, but you know. Casually, he would have been separated from me for quite a while. And so once again, I'm gonna go and get him some snacks.
Do I have time to read off a donation?
Sure.
All right, we have $25 from Gopher, who says, Trico is our little goober. Also, you guys all rock. No, you rock, Gopher. Thank you so much for the $25 donation.
Yeah.
In addition, I would like to remind you, or at least or inform you, I guess is the right word for this. So the full amount of your donation can go to both the chicory target that I announced earlier, and one of the bid wars that we have open. So if you do if you donate $15+, it can go towards all 3. So with that being said, we are at $63.99 now for the chicory out of 500 for the chicory climb the mountain incentive. And we also have the messenger, the category bid war between New Game and New Game Plus, which is currently at $60 to $33.31 in favor of the New Game category. And Chartreuse the Giraffe is slowly catching up to Snowco and the Chicken for the bid war for Rolled Out, for Helix's run of Rolled Out. And the choices between Chartreuse the giraffe, Snowcone the chicken, and Morris the rat. So that is $25 is plus 1 pet for Trico, by the way.
So we have 2 pets now.
Yes.
Yes, because I was just thinking about where to do the next one. And we're coming up on a good section once we finish this little section on the pillars here. We've been without Trico for so long. He needs some good pets. So we've been reunited. We gotta get out of here before that other Trico comes back. And if we spend, depending on how Trico is feeling, if we spend too long in the area up top, the boy will actually say, like, Trico, we kinda need to go. So, we gotta, buddy, we gotta get out of here. Thankfully, he hasn't had any spears in him for a while. Yeah. Buddy, that's not right, honey. You're very close, but that's not right. You're looking at the wrong thing. There you go. Now, I'm always just a little afraid because a runner in our community by the name of Aiden Umferson made this jump up top that we're about to make through that sunny hole that Trico created. And somehow, Trico slammed him into the wall so hard that he permanently merged with the mountain. And so now I'm terrified every time we jump through this hole that I am going to become a feature of the architecture. So we'll see.
Well, here's to not becoming part of the mountain.
Yeah. Alright, buddy. Just keep calm and don't smoosh me, okay? I did just pet him. We're not going to count that. I was petting him to duck myself down so that I didn't clip my head on the wall and hopefully didn't merge with it. But we will pet him once we're out here.
Ah, yes, the petting tech.
Petting tech is like a real thing. Sometimes you do it to make sure that you're holding on, since the boy doesn't have a grab button.
I do enjoy though that that whenever it is like used as speed tech, it's like you're not counting that. You're not counting that towards like the pet rewards for donations.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's very thoughtful.
The only time that I did was during command skip because we give him good pets right on the head, and those are really cute. So those counted. But all right, buddy. You want some pets? You want some pets, buddy? Oh. Good job, dude. Oh, he's so angry. Dude, calm it down. Buddy, every time I try to give pets and get you to calm down, you get angry. Okay? So there was one pet. He got angry at the white tower because it's like over here. And every time he sees it, he has to shout about it. Because sometimes you just gotta shout about things. So we did give him a pet, though, which smoothed down some of the feathers that were still fluffed up from him coming through the hole in the wall. And we will give him one more pet. I know exactly where, because there's nothing there that could possibly make him angry. Because I really want to try to get him to like lay down and be cute. Well, cuter.
Yeah, I was about to say, Trico's always cute.
Yeah. So he's gonna mostly do this on his own. I'm gonna, I guess, defy the laws of space and time and just kind of float on top of his head for a while. I don't know what I am doing. But he seems to have things under control. And I'm gonna try to manipulate his AI a little bit to look to the right instead of the left. In the end, that's his choice, because he is an autonomous Trico. But we're gonna try to get him to look over in this direction in just a second. Look to the right. There you go. Good job, buddy. And then I missed anyway. That is called God Gamer Move. It's okay. So all I was trying to do was end up on, excuse me, Trico, on this platform. So it's literally like just a couple seconds. It's always worth it to try because it takes the same amount of time to fail and reload as it does to get off of Trico and get over there. So it's always worth it. Yeah, Trico's trying his best. He doesn't know what's happening. He's vibing. I am leaving him behind though, because we need to open a door in order to get him through where he is. He looks so sad. But okay, so the boy's hand there was still grabbing the ledge above, even though I was standing there. He's just had some kind of weird collision today, like with the eyeball. It's been a day. Hi, buddy. Come on in. Sorry I kept you waiting. So he's gonna come in, and over in here, this may be a familiar sight if you were here toward the beginning of the run. We have another one of these cages. These pulsing cages that Trico really seemed to not like. And so once again, he's very upset. This time, there are some armors down in here that I need to contend with that there weren't the first time, but the fact remains that Trico is very upset about this cage. Those horns are resonating just like that other Trico. Yoink! Once again, I am Schnack. So we've got a very long cutscene here. I'll explain what happens in that later. We did meet the watch cutscene incentives, but those are the cutscenes at the end. So we'll get to that in a bit. Now we do have an unskippable little event here. Very touching. If you've never seen it before, please stick around. But I am going to actually stand up and stretch my legs for a minute because I've been sitting for almost 2.5 hours. So I will be right back. Enjoy as Trico finally realizes that maybe eating his human repeatedly is not good for them. And as he tries to fix it.
Nice. As you take a quick break, excuse me. I would like to suggest that y'all do the same. Get up, stretch your legs, take a little bit of a wellness break. Go get a drink, go get a snack, and enjoy this little break.
Alright, I hath returned. Suppose I'll still get some water. Stay hydrated, folks. Oh, man.
I just got back as well.
Yeah, somebody said Kit Kat in chat, and that makes me really, really want like, chocolate at the moment. So going around this pillar here, actually, ooh, Trico was a little bit slow there. This is another one of these scripted scenes where Trico's AI is actively generating how to solve the puzzle, like, right now. It's not pre-recorded. So sometimes Trico will go around that pillar really fast. Sometimes he'll bonk his head and be unable to figure out how to get around it for, 5 seconds or something, so... It's just kind of part of the speed run that we learn to cope with. But, so he's trying to wake me up because he's eaten me repeatedly at this point. And, he's finally learned. What's the lesson we've learned here? Say it with me, chat. Don't eat people. And he's learned that, and so he's trying to wake me up. Because I'm not doing so good this time. So what happened in that cutscene, by the way, the cutscene that we skipped? We basically found out everything. We found out why we're here and like how we ended up here. Trico, when he still had his helmet on, when he still looked like that other Trico that slapped us in the face, he came to our village and he stuck his head through the window of my house at nighttime and ate me and carried me back to this valley. And on the way, he flew through a thunderstorm and he got struck by lightning. So the tip of his tail went flying off and he crashed into the ground. He broke his horns. Hi, buddy. Oh, you're so happy. Yeah. Okay. Good job, buddy. Come here. Come here. Now, are you finally gonna sit down and do a big yawn for me? Because we still have one pet. I've been saving it, my man. Been saving this pet. Yeah, you sit down. Oh, you sit it right down, buddy. Do the yawn. Yeah. Good job. Okay. I petted him long enough that he sat down and did a big ol' yawn and everything, and he's so good. Alright, so I think we're caught up on pets again. But anyway, so we got struck by lightning, and Trico crashed to the ground. He broke his horns, he lost the tip of his tail, his wings were injured. And then the armors picked him up on like a big Trico stretcher and put him in the cave where we started the game. They chained him to the ground, and after a little while, he barfed me out. So apparently that's how I keep being okay after he eats me. He just eats me and then he like barfs me back out. Because Trico doesn't have teeth. He has what I have deemed a buzzle, a beak muzzle thing that doesn't have teeth in it, so it's not like he's really hurting us. And that's how we ended up in the cave at the beginning of the game. He was chained up there, he barfed us out. When he barfed me out, I had tattoos for the first time, so something about being in his stomach gave me these tattoos, which I will point out that I have a lot of, because I've been captured by armors a lot in this run. But, so that's what we missed in that cutscene. But now Trico's horns are finally growing back, his tail's growing back, his wings are growing back. He's doing great. Come on, buddy. You're almost there. Get in here. Stop staring at me. Also, check out the lizards, by the way, because they're the same lizards as Shadow the Colossus. Unfortunately, there are no ones with silver tails, but... Oh, he's going crazy. Hey, buddy. Thank you for your help. Okay, so we're in this mine shaft. Unfortunately, there's not another way for Trico to go besides into this door that we've just opened, and this is real small. So we're gonna have to convince him to squeeze through this tiny little tunnel, and look, it gets even smaller. You can do it, Trico. He's coming, you can see him down there. He's squeezing. Little by little. Almost, buddy. He's trying so hard to be a good boy, like to do what I ask. Alright, so he sticks his head through there, and then he's stuck. So I go over and try to help him, and then... uh-oh. Poor Trico. He collapsed the whole thing. Don't worry, he's okay. He's breathing. He's just, you know, he feels about as good as you would expect when an entire mine shaft collapses on you. So we're gonna let him rest for a little bit. Yeah, see, you can see that pile of rocks is moving, so he's breathing, he's doing good. Well, maybe not good. He's been through a lot these last couple days in-game. So look, out here, at long last. It's the White Tower. Oh no, there's armors. So I'm gonna need Trico's help. Can't take out these armors on my own, and if we're being real, in the context of a speedrun, neither can Trico. Because, boy, Trico is not good at this fight. I don't know why. I don't know why. He's just always super passive in this fight in particular. So we'll see how he does. He woke up to help his little human friend, but... oh, he got somebody on accident. That's the only time he ever gets somebody. Look at you, buddy. Way to go. Get that guy. Well, okay, here we go. There. Very nice. That was better than average, my chicken dog. It was helpful because two of them he just accidentally stepped on. And that's what destroyed them. So there's the White Tower. That's what he's shouting at. You know, obligatory, we have to shout at the White Tower every time we see it. Now you can see over there way in the distance, there's two eyeballs on this bridge. This is going to be White Tower Skip, which is notorious in the community for being one of the hardest things in the run. So those eyeballs are going to prevent Trico from just hopping that small gap, because he's going to be scared. So we're going to try and just skip this entire place. It's the only sequence break in the game, if you can even call it a sequence break. This will take me more than one try, I can almost guarantee. Why? Where am I? Oh dear. I just see the boy being shuffled between all four of his feet. Oh, gee. Well, okay, I'm on the ground. I'm on the ground, that's what matters. Hey, look at this run! Cutscene run. So, normally you're intended to go down a level underneath these eyeballs and then go all the way around the White Tower. It's a bunch of platforming, hanging on ledges, that kind of stuff. Instead, what I'm going to try to do is just abuse a place that we're not really supposed to stand and just be done. And that's typically what happens, which is fine. Like I said, I'm not going to get this on the first try. It's been a decent amount of time since I've, you know, actually given this some dedicated have to get it on the first try practice. So, and if we don't get it, we go around the White Tower. Like, it's not actually that big of a deal. In the context of, like, a marathon, it's not really a big deal. But we're trying to land in this V, essentially. I could try that again, but I'm going to reset it. It is worth spending kind of a decent amount of time, you know, trying to do this. Because going around the White Tower is a nightmare. For many reasons. Don't step out of there, you little fuzzball. Okay? Alright, we're done. That was White Tower
Nice.
skip.
That looked like a really tricky jump around that.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to be there. And then, you know, to do the run up the vertical or the diagonal beam. Additionally, that's another jump you can miss. I think I'm the only runner that runs up it. Most other runners walk because it makes me feel better to run for some reason. So that wasn't bad. Like, even that many attempts would be more than sufficient for, like, a world record pace run. Like, that would be fine. Of course, first try is ideal, but... So we made it, and in doing that, we skipped the entire outside of the White Tower, which would have taken, depending on, you know, if you die or if you hesitate at all, anywhere from like 2.5 to 3.5 minutes. Unfortunately, these guys got me. And Trico's got some eyeballs to deal with, so I'm kind of really in trouble. This is a lot of eyeballs. But you know, he's a good boy. Also, this bridge hasn't been destroyed, and that's kind of his solemnly sworn duty. So his love of me is greater than his fear of the eyeballs. He's got wings, though. His wingdings are actually working. Kind of. I'm gonna reset so that I don't have to climb him. But he destroyed that bridge, as he does, because he's Trico. But he did fly us over here to semi-safety, so now I have to save him. Now you're supposed to, you see those little gargoyles there sticking out from the building? You're supposed to jump on those, and one of them will break, and it lines you up so that you land on Trico's, like, leg. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna take a much riskier jump. Hopefully, directly to his head. And then we don't have to worry about climbing all the way up his body and watching the cutscene of the gargoyle breaking and everything. Hello. Hello, my friend. Are you ready? If he's gonna miss, this is typically the one that he misses. Okay, he got me. We've got a good Trico today.
Good job, Trico. How about that?
Hello,
All
everybody.
right, so yeah, apologies for the technical difficulties. We had our restreamers now unfortunately went out. Um, so yeah, we are gonna pick back up, pretty much where we left off. And with that being said, I'm gonna throw it back over to you, Sable, and
Yeah,
we will resume this run.
fantastic. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to The Last Guardian. This doesn't look like where we stopped. Well, it's not. It's a couple steps ahead. So don't mind where we are at the moment. So basically, there's this eyeball. Trico's over there. You can see he's afraid of it. So I'm gonna get rid of it. That's it. I took a couple steps forward, did basically like one little tiny platforming puzzle while we were gone. You didn't miss anything. Yeah, I mean, look at this. I'm 0 seconds in like the final third of the game. This is like
Yeah,
a
this one's
super
gonna be
competitive
tough.
time.
This is gonna be tough, folks. Oh, okay, the timer's actually back in function.
Hey! Ah, I don't
Yeah.
like that time so much. Go back. So here's this other Trico that has been antagonizing us the entire time. She was going after me, and my poor Trico, you know, he was doing his best to try to protect me, but he's kind of a softie. He's not really that great at this. So I'm gonna try to drop her like that. Didn't work. She's after my Trico. Down we go to the next level. Poor Trico, he can't really take care of himself here. So the way I'm gonna get her off of him is gonna slam her tail right in this door. Ouchie. And now I'm gonna do spooky speedrun strat. Oh, get through the Tricos. Through the Tricos. Yep, all the way. There we go. Okay, we're safe. If I don't make it all the way through their legs before they fall, they're gonna drag me down with them, and the checkpoint down there is just brutal. But if we're here, we skip the entire platforming section to get here. I'm just gonna wallop this other Trico right in the head. Gotta get her off of my boy. Man. So we broke her armor off, and we broke one of her horns. So all of a sudden she's just like, you know what? Forget this. This isn't worth my time. Unfortunately, our Trico, he's seen better days. He got pretty beat up. So this is a free pet. We're gonna give him some pets to make him feel better. And there's our mirror. Where has that been the entire game? Well, when Trico ate me for the first time, it came off of my arm while I was in his belly, and he didn't barf it back up when he barfed me up. But he's been holding on to the mirror the entire time. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna destroy this armor up here. You don't have to do this, but I am going to, because if Trico doesn't have to fight armors later, that's a big deal for multiple reasons. Number one, it doesn't distract him. Number two, it doesn't require me to calm him back down. I'm actually taking a real quick survey. Okay. Yeah, no, he has a spear. Okay. So the boy just said, hold on, Trico, I'll pull it out. for a speedrunner, that's not necessarily what we want to see, because that means that Trico has not passed the spear check. During that fight, there was armors throwing spears at him, and he has too many spears in order for us to progress, so we're going to need to take some out. I did a real quick check to make sure there was at least one spear that I could access, because if there wasn't, if he's laying on all of them, then there's nothing I can do. Like, I can't remove any spears, and like, we can't progress. So I did a real quick check to make sure that there was one that I could take out before I continued. This debris is kind of gross. Not a big fan, but we're gonna give him lots of snacks. He's had a rough day. These will help him feel better. These barrels of cold hot dogs.
I like this headcanon, by the way.
Yes. It's just what it is.
The barrels just have cold hot dogs in them. I love it.
Oh, there was a helmet that landed back here. No, thank you. We did blow up a couple armors, so that's where that helmet came from. Hey, buddy. I know, you don't feel good. There, so he's gonna start working on these. He eats them best when you actually feed them to him. If you leave him on the ground, he really struggles. So he needs your help at this point. Yeah, the boy never eats. Which once again kind of lends credence to the theory that he's just kind of a semi-sentient being of odd nature. Because you don't know how long they've been here. Minimum, they've been here 2 days, I believe, because we see 2 night times. So technically that would be 3 days, right? But it could be, and I think you're meant to assume that it was a lot longer.
Poor thing.
Yeah. He's struggling. One more. And then we'll take that spear out, and then hopefully he'll feel better. We do want to see the camera pan. Be a little concerned if the camera doesn't pan when we take this spear out. There we go. We're good to go. The poor Trico, he doesn't feel good. We gave him all the food that there was. Oh no, maybe the boy ate cold hot dogs in Trico's stomach. No. That was not the image that I needed today. But is there any other explanation? Truly. So we can actually get different cutscenes here, depending on what order we do things. Sometimes it'll show us sleeping with Trico at nighttime, and sometimes it'll show us sleeping with Trico during the daytime. Pink sky. So we are in the end game. Oh, and if you're playing, like, yourself, and you get to this point, you can see Trico's heart beating there in his stomach, and you can feel it on the controller, too. Alright, Treeks, you ready, buddy? We are gonna soon be approaching the time when we will no longer be able to give pets to Trico. So if we have... This is actually a good time to just hear about what's coming up and all of that as well.
Yeah, sure. So, reminder that what would you say is a good time to cut it off? Like how, like, do you know, like, between now and then, like, exactly how much time
I think
we have?
I think based on what the timer currently says, it's going to be right about at 3 hours.
Okay, so we have until about 3 hours into this run to get donations into Pet Trico. And reminder that every donation, $15 or more, Sable will pet Trico once. So coming up, the next run after this, we actually have Tyler 2022 with Metal Gear Solid any percent, very easy. And then followed by Discworld by Mendez.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the fact that Trico has a tattoo artist stuck in there as well. In his stomach. Ah. Yeah, Trico's taking us back up here. His horns are fully regrown, he's looking good. And you can't really notice because I can't look down like that, but his tail is finally fully regrown. Those final barrels that we gave him really helped. And so now his tail is as we have never seen it before, because at the beginning of the game he was already missing a piece of it from being struck with lightning. There it is, that big long tail. Oh boy, buddy. Oh boy, buddy, let me off. Let me off this wild ride. Okay. Turn around, my dude. For some reason, he won't shoot his butt lasers if his butt is facing that way. I don't know. Now this time, you may notice, if you paid close attention, that that looked a little bit different. He doesn't shoot lightning anymore. Now he shoots plasma balls. Because his tail is fully regrown, and so that's kind of what he's always been meant to do. Upgrade to Trico, get. We have unlocked his plasma cannon. Another cage! Every other time we've been in one of these, he's eaten us, so, you know, this is promising. You coming, buddy? I know we've had previous bad experiences, but... Alright, so this time, for the first time, we're able to face our fears. We don't get maunched. Truth be told, I'm not sure the boy could handle it. He wasn't doing so good after the last time. That's probably a relief. Gonna try to pull off this quick shot before Trico blocks me. Ooh, buddy. Honey. Honey. You're gonna be a sabotaging big old chicken dog, aren't you? That's okay. I love you anyway. Getting all 5 of these big eyeballs early, ahead of time, I'm making a blind shot here. And I don't really want to make this as a blind shot either, but he's not giving me a choice. Getting all of these early is really, really challenging. Did that make it? Ooh, it did. Very nice, dude. No, no, no. No, no. Okay, Treeks. I'm sensing that you're impatient with this area, and we can just go. So yeah, in an ideal world, in an ideal speedrun, you get all 5 of those at once. But it's not like catastrophic or anything that we didn't. That's kind of common. Wait, what does Trico evolve into as a Pokemon? Has that occurred and that's why he's got his plasma ball now? Treeks, my dude. Chill for a minute. I don't want to shoot from your back, but calm it down. Calm it down, buddy. Oh, you are making this challenging. Alright. Good shot. Oh, I can't see. Can't see. Can't see. You got this, buddy. Never in my life have I had to make this many shots that I can't see my target. Miss. Okay. Well, we'll get that later. So the purpose of this section of the game is essentially to... Oh, look at this shot that I have to make. Look at this. Creeks. We're not going to do this right now. I'm not going to put you through that. The purpose of this section of the game is Trico control. It's essentially like the final challenge before you reach the end of the game. So you're tasked with, you know, making shots with Trico's tail while you're on Trico, and commanding him to do things in really confined spaces that aren't even big enough for him, and things like that. Which you're kind of seeing more of a demonstration of that than you might normally in an any %, because that mirror section went very poorly, but I mean, it's alright. It's not catastrophic that it didn't happen in the ideal way, right? I'll just do it later. And we still got most of them, which is, of course, nice. Come on. Keep it coming. Now there are 2 armors up here that I'm gonna preemptively destroy, once again, so that he doesn't even, like, realize that they're there and doesn't get angry. Oh, why is this so slow? Why is it so slow? Okay. That sunlight, though. The lighting in this area is so nice. Alright. Alright, now we've got a clearer shot on this as long as Trico feels like it. Oh, we have to turn around first. Okay. Trico, please shoot before it keeps rotating. Alright, thank you. Good, good. Come on, buddy. Okay, we're on our way. Arguably the hardest part is over with. Of this section. We are very much not in the hardest part of the game, but... Because, like all good speedruns, the very hardest part is at the very end. Now, I need to not fall. That's actually really important. Normally, in a speedrun, and especially in a marathon, like, oh no, I fell, you know? But this is actually really punishing if I fail here, so... Here's hoping that the boy is very good about grabbing, because I can't control that. Also, check out the gargoyles, they're Tricos. Little, world detail. Oh boy. Okay, that's the hardest jump, so let's just touch down over here and we'll be okay. We'll be okay. If I didn't do that correctly and he fell, those 2 armors, the eyeball, like everything would have been back. And so that's why that's punishing. Sancho, I'm gonna choose to believe that you wrote the clam before the storm intentionally. Because yes, this is the clam, the sea urchin, the school of fish before the storm. Before the Sharknado, if you will. Oh, that butt is very much in the air. Way to go, Trico. Well, I ended up on the ground one way or another. So you can see in the distance, you'll be able to see it even better here in just a second, that we are actually pretty close to the White Tower. There it is. But that's where the bridge used to be. And somebody, not pointing any fingers, destroyed that bridge. And so we need to find a different way to get to the White Tower, and we still haven't solved that problem. Yeah, I appreciate that comment in chat that's saying like there's so many buttons on the controller and the game uses 3. That is absolutely true. I haven't talked about it too much in this run. Everything is the circle button. Which is why most runners don't ever want to get this mirror back, because it's also the circle button, so it's like one more thing that can go wrong. So for perspective, the circle button pets Trico. It uses the shield mirror thing, picks up helmets, well, picks up anything that you want to throw, grabs levers. If you're on the ground standing next to Trico and you hit circle, the boy will run over and like put his hands on Trico. If you want to grab the head of a suit of armor to pull it off, that's circle. All of that is circle. So when you're in a huge chaotic fight and you have the mirror and Trico's with you and there's armors, like, you are gonna do the wrong thing, you know? Meanwhile, there's 1, 2, I would argue 4 buttons that aren't used on this controller at all. So, seems like that could have been different. But it's just so much a part of this game, you know, we just get used to it. But I'm sure in this section coming up, you'll hear me be like, no, it, you know, because it's not doing what I want it to do. What are you shouting about, my man? Look at the lighting on his eyeballs, by the way. This is like my favorite shot in the game. As far as lighting is concerned, it's so good. So yeah, we're navigating through this very challenging set of platforming puzzles. We've got 1 suit of armor up here, which again is meant to test you because you need to take care of this on Trico. Bam, okay. So we're gonna spend the next small chunk of time building a bridge. With that being said, we only have a couple more minutes for the pet Trico incentive, if you want to get any final pets in, everybody. And other than that, obviously we've got some good runs coming up with their own incentives, so we can check on how those are doing.
We've got, what, like 5 minutes left for it?
Yeah, 5-ish minutes.
Or so. Yeah, in addition to that, though, we do have the chicory goal to climb the mountain instead of skipping that section. And apparently that section has really cool movement as well, so definitely want to get some donations for that. That is a $500 goal. And we are currently at $63.99 for that as well. And a reminder that the watch the end cutscenes goal was met for this run, so we will be watching the cutscenes after this run is over. So thanks for your donations for that as well.
Yeah, we sure will. And at this point, you've gotten to know Trico well enough that I think that those ending scenes will just really put a nice little bow on everything. I say with some measure of, uh-oh. Bye! Okay, good. I have to do that whole thing.
It's the measure of what now?
Yeah, okay. Just a minute. Just a second. Go get some juice or something if you want a drink. Go get some snacks. I'll be back in 50 seconds. It's really weird that it doesn't checkpoint after that, that lever. But certainly runs have died to less, so... Alright, Trico, let's try this again. I know what I'm gonna do to just completely prevent that from happening at all. And I have in my head a scenario for what's gonna happen. What's actually gonna happen is I'm gonna fall and splat on my face and have a broken leg. Alright, Trico, you ready? You ready, buddy? Oh, well, okay. It was a happy medium. I was trying to jump in front of him so that he would catch me. Because at this point in the game, he trusts you enough that he'll catch you even when you're not in a scripted moment. But he didn't. He just, you know, eyes glazed over, stared at me. But I did catch him anyway, so it was fine. And there's the White Tower. Right through there. We're almost there. Flop. Okay, I gotta build one more segment of this bridge. You might be able to figure out what's happening here with this bridge. But this basically concludes the end of our little platforming section here. And then things get real. So look forward to that. The hardest chunk of the run is about to start, and it doesn't stop until basically the end. Trico, where are you? Trico, Trico, help! Trico? Thank you. I've never seen him not be out there to catch me. I walked through that window so that I didn't have to climb down the tower. Hello. Alright, final call for any pet the Tricos.
It looks like if somebody can prove me wrong within the next few seconds, it looks like we've pet Trico all that we will be.
He received many, many pets.
Many of them, yeah. And thank you so much for for all the donations for pets that we received over the course of this run. Very much appreciated. We appreciate it very much.
I think we accomplished a lot in this run for charity. And that's because y'all are awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have a lot more opportunities for things to donate for over the course of this marathon, so stay tuned for those.
So here's where the hard part begins. This is just the first phase of the first fight. There's a lot of armors that live in this tower. You are going to leave me alone, okay? Get him, buddy.
Also, I'm very greatly enjoying using the mirror while just like doing the running man.
Yeah. Like that must burn so many calories. Just like chill out for a second.
Getting the cardio in while you're doing the, you know.
Oh, good shot, Trico. That was a complete whiff, but you know what? I appreciate you. Oh, okay, bye. Trico is just phasing through the walls and all sorts of stuff. This is a grand old time. So I'm waiting for him to destroy the final armors up there, because this door is going to open, and from it is a guy with an eyeball shield. And as I said before, if Trico sees those, that's a bad deal. Not only does it stop him from fighting, but it makes him less likely to be a good fighter for the rest of the run. So we definitely need to take care of that as soon as it comes out. which we did by spooking that guy. As soon as he appeared, I was like, haha, I'm here. And he was like, what? And then he dropped his shield because he you know, was startled by my presence and defaulted to trying to pick me up instead. And so in that way we got him to drop his shield inside the door so that he can't go back and get it. Which, by the way, because I'm kind of good at this run, we haven't been pulled into any blue doors yet. Blue doors are just a death. If the armors take you into a door, you just die. I do recall I lost, it wasn't world record, but it was a very good case, that I lost once to, again, because everything is the circle button, I was trying to use the mirror to shine, you know, a light to get Trico to fight one of the armors, and right as I did that, an armor next to me opened a door and he had a shield, and the boy just zoomed directly into the door to grab the shield and just died. He walked willingly to his own demise, because that's just what the circle button does. But that fight should be over. And we're gonna hopefully pull off a cool little skip here. In this next room, we're supposed to drag Trico's tail through a hole and use it to, like, get down to the next level. But assuming that nobody hears any fight music anymore, bam, we're just down here. We don't have to wait for Trico, we don't have to do anything. So Trico will be up there in just a second. He'll catch up with me. But what we don't get to see is that above us, in that room up above, is a big elevator. And it's closed off by a circular door on the ceiling. And each panel of that circular door is controlled by one of these, the game calls them plinths. So, word of the day, plinth. So as we turn these on one by one, we're going to be able to start opening that door to take the elevator up. Obviously, in order to turn them on, we have to move the armors from in front of them. These armors are being goobers. We're not going to get all of them. But I kind of like this iteration. The helmet of one of them that I hit flew off and landed on the body of one that didn't have a helmet. So I kind of dig it. Okay, that one's alive too. Just kidding. I like having one left over, but it doesn't... It's fine. Like, I just like it for swag, having one left over. Because then it'll let us open the final one of these in kind of a cool way. It's technically better if they're gone completely, but who wants better when you can have swag? We're opening these pieces of the door one by one. Almost there. Alright, last one. And this checkpoint reset is actually really cool. This one makes me really happy. So the door is opening. And if we reset the checkpoint as soon as it's open, we actually get a teleport, which doesn't happen super often. Boop, we're back up here. We're up top. We didn't have to climb Trico's tail. It's great. Now, upcoming. Hardest fight in the game. This is the part I was talking about earlier, where I was on world record pace, and then Trico kicked me through one of these holes. This is a huge, huge fight. There's a lot to manage. There's guys with shields. There's guys up on terraces that you can't reach without lightning. This is an easy place to lose a lot of time, and it's right at the end of the run. Let's see, buddy. You and me. That's friendos, right? You've been pet so many times. Getting caught is going to encourage Trico to fight, but it does also put me in danger of, you know, being shoved through a hole. Being yeeted through a hole. Oh, see, I wanted to go after that armor's head, and I grabbed this helmet instead, because circle button. I mean, it's just kind of pretty expected at this point. Alright, get this guy to drop his shield. Because I knew where he was going to come out. Thankfully, it's not random. It's always the same door, so you can predict what's going to happen there. Oh geez, how many pets did we do? Close to 20, right?
I can count real quick. Give me a second.
Alright, one shield down. There's going to be another guy. We need to get over there quickly. Trico's going to interfere. I could see it happening before it even occurred. So we have one shield out, which is not super great, but if Trico makes this shot before I get caught, which he didn't, it would have destroyed that shield. I need to actually break free to stop this guy. This is a precarious position to be in. If this guy grabs me, I am just so in front of that door.
Okay,
Nope.
I'm counting 18 pets.
Hey, nice.
18 pets.
That's a lot of pets for our boy.
That is a lot of pets. And yes, also all very well deserved as well.
There's somebody still up here. Where is he? I guess he just doesn't exist anymore, which, you know what? Yep. I'm good with that. You're gonna tell me that one of these armors simply doesn't exist anymore? Sure. Alright, so that was decent. I would definitely be okay with that. You know, it wasn't by far the best that it could be, but with so much going on, it's very hard to make that fight the best that it can be, you know? There's only so much you can do. So we've still got a bit to go, but we're looking decent. We're looking decent. Plus, as I think you were about to find out, there's a lot more to this story than maybe you might imagine. Which is why the ending cutscenes are going to be great. Some days just be like that. Yeah, some days you're just like, well, I'm supposed to go to this giant fight against this chicken dog, but just whatever. I'm sure he was up on that terrace just pretending that he wasn't there. Trix, buddy, you got this, man. What are you doing? If I may be so bold as to ask. Okay, right-hand side instead of left. I dig it. We're going for something a little different. This is not typically what he would do, but, you know, let's leave a little room for some creativity. There's a big fan up here, by the way. Take note of that as Trico brushes me 2 inches from my doom. Up there. I don't like this. Okay. We're fine. You're not supposed to make that jump. You're supposed to wait and keep going with Trico and do a bunch of other stuff, but we just made it into this window, and so we get to proceed. So here's where things get weird. Yeah, so this is the Master of the Valley. He's just kind of chilling. Big jelly blob. If you make his aura thing here go all the way back into him with the mirror, it'll explode out again. And it'll hit you, and it can kill you, or, you know, it can just make you temporarily immobile. But if you only make it go in most of the way, it comes out very slowly. And so that's how we're able to climb this cage. Yes, orb. The orb down there is what's making everything glow blue like this. We've seen this in the cages that make Trico eat me, like... That's why he's called the Master of the Valley, right? He's head honcho. He's the one in charge. And I know it looks steamy in there, but what you're actually seeing is that it's cold. Ooh, I didn't like that. So yeah, it's cold in there, and this fan, it's almost like seems to me like a computer cooling fan that's going on here. And so anytime we've been inside the White Tower, whether it's in the Master's Chamber down here, or at the very beginning of the game where we got the mirror, it was cold, and you could see, like, the boy would shiver, you could see his breath. So it's almost like we're in a giant cooling system. I'm just kind of watching Trico. Okay. There was an opportunity for him to poop there, and so I was just kind of checking. So we made it! We're at the top of the White Tower. It's everything we've ever wanted, right, Trico? So finally, his wings are healed, and I'm like, Trico, let's go. Fly me to the side of this place, and let's get out of here. That's the command that I just gave him. So yeah, our Trico obviously isn't the only Trico. We've kind of known that for a while, but probably didn't realize that there were quite this many. So the Master is calling them all back. And you can see that little thing over there on the side that looks kind of like a nest with a baby bird sticking out of that. And I don't necessarily think that the Master called them because we were here. I think that this was just kind of poor timing. So, sorry to burst your bubble about cold hot dogs, but I don't think cold hot dogs is what's in those barrels. to be fair,
The
some
head
people...
cannon is ruined.
Yeah, the headcanon is ruined. And some people think that it's not people, right, inside the barrels. Some people think that they just get that barrel reward for turning in those people. But my personal opinion is that the master takes whatever it is that he needs from the people and then just gives the rest to the Tricos in the barrel. But it's up to your interpretation. Trico's trying so hard to protect me, poor guy, but you know, in a fight against one other Trico, you saw how he did, so... Oopsie. So I'm gonna reset because my leg is currently broken. And not only does it take time to walk that off, but it's also very dangerous when there's... I think there's 9? 7 or 9 Tricos here. So unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do to speed this up. Even Fumito Ueda was just like, nope, nope, you just have to do this. So we're on this Trico, we're just holding on for dear life, like we don't want to be maunched, but also we're like, you know, 30,000 feet in the air, so probably don't want to let go. And actually, if you look at these Tricos, each one of them is different. They all have different patterns and colors. Kinda cool. Almost there. He's just having a grand old time flying around. I think we're so close to getting out of here, and then we got in trouble. So poor Trico, he's been fighting with these other Tricos the entire time. He's not doing great, just like before. You know, I think it was Sancho who said he's a lover, not a fighter. I like that drop though, that was a good drop. So there's our Trico. He's doing his best. And that's really all you can ask. We're getting this mirror. Our poor Trico is over here. He just grew his tail back and then there it goes again. So we're gonna put an end to this because the signals, you know, coming from the master here are really just causing these Tricos to be really, really angry. So down we go. And time is gonna be coming up here. Time is going to occur as soon as we hit the master. I cannot say when that's gonna be, so don't worry about it. I'll just call time when it happens. You see, like that was a miss. So we can't call time. Time! Hey.
Very nice.
Thank you. So, we met the incentive to watch these cutscenes, so let's find out what happens to Trico. Poor boy.
Did indeed.
for the GGs, everybody. I hope y'all had fun. Do stick around, because to me, these cutscenes kind of like make the game. They're very, very good. Poor Trico. So when we destroyed the Master, all of these other Tricos that were connected to him, like mentally, telepathically, whatever's happening, they... You know, that probably wasn't very good for their brains either. And I think that that's why so many of them got hurt when that happened. But our Trico, he's still okay. He's still here. So this is back down at the bottom. This is where we first got the mirror. So kind of take note, that's a sarcophagus, right? And it's actually broken into 16 pieces, which is interesting to note considering that there is a pool in that room that looks exactly like Shadow of the Colossus. So I'm not really saying there's a connection, because it's tenuous at best, but some people think that the Master might in some way be related to Dorman. Our poor guy, he got all beat up, but he came back to get us. Because in a way, the boy is connected to the Master too. Like, our tattoos resonate when we get picked up by armors and stuff, so we got hurt when we blew up the Master as well. But he's going for it. And so down there is actually, that's the Trico that kept bothering us the entire run. But you see, she's fine. And it's a little unclear whether it's because we tore her helmet off or because we broke her horn. I think it's because we broke her horn, because it seems like their horns are what enable them to communicate with the Master. And once their horns are broken, that connection is also broken. So she's okay. I kind of also think Tricos aren't even supposed to have horns, though. That's just like my own personal canon. That, like, the Master feeds them those barrels so that they grow horns, so that he can control them. Oh, it's the power of love. Uh-huh. The power of love saved that other Trico. No, what actually happened was she was like, I hear there's some pets going around. Can I cash in on some of that action? She wanted pets. He's losing so many feathers! He should be bald! That's not the end. Keep hanging on.
God, like, I'm mostly watching without sound, but these cutscenes are fantastic.
They sure are. So we're home. This is my village. You didn't really get to see it because we didn't watch that cutscene because it's like 10 minutes long, but this is where I came from. This is where Trico picked me up and launched me for the very first time. Fond memories. So he barfed me out again. You know, he was just carrying me safely back home. If you pay close attention, you can actually see like there's steam coming from his nose. He's really hot. He's really tired. He didn't throw me up with any barrel pieces, so like he doesn't have any juice left, you know? He's really kind of at the edge of his ability here. He wanted to make sure that I got home. And so one category of Last Guardian, actually timing would not have stopped because this is the final input of the game. Trico will stay here until I tell him to go. He won't leave me. So the final input of the game is me as the boy saying, Trico, you need to go. And at this point, like, in my casual playthrough, I was still, like, kind of okay. But then when he said, I doubt it has long to live, I was done. Like, I was just done for. And then I kind of recover. And then he says this. And it's like, this really is the end. But it's not the end. Stay here. If it ever loads. So we got Trico to go. These are just the credits that I'm skipping. And we've just got like 2 more minutes of cutscenes or so. Maybe it's not even that long. But poor Trico, we had to send him away. We just couldn't communicate everything, right? To the village to be like, no, don't hurt him. Because for their entire existence, these Tricos have been coming and abducting people, so of course they're scared of him. They call them, like, giant man-eating Tricos. He mentions that, like, offhand at the very beginning of the game. So this is, like, trying to trick you into thinking that you're looking at the title screen, like it's just going back to the title screen. Because this is what the title screen looks like, and this is the back of the mirror, is what you're seeing. So when we crash landed, the mirror just like flung off of my arm and ended up in the ground. And so that's what you see here. You see it like all caked with dirt and everything, and this is exactly what the title screen looks like. But we will not be fooled, there's more. So stick around for just like another minute. So after all this time, we end up finding that mirror again in the ground. I'm grown up. Based on like what we can tell of how this culture works, I'm actually even the village chief. And I don't have that many tattoos, okay? I could definitely have a lot more tattoos, so I didn't get grabbed too awful often. The music just really, really makes this. So we send out that one final call from the mirror. And this is where we were. This is the nest. What on earth could possibly have caused this shape? I don't know. Like, was it a meteor? I don't know what caused this giant crater. But that's where we were for the entire game.
It seems a bit unnatural.
It does seem a bit unnatural.
Unnaturally shaped.
I was really sad to see that the tower didn't fall. The white tower didn't, like, collapse. But I guess it's there just to kind of still serve as that, like, benchmark location that you really recognize. But this is the first area of the game. This is where we started. This is where we did the first couple puzzles with Trico. And this was the wall that we broke when we learned that he could shoot lightning out of his butt for the first time. And this is the room where we started the game. He was chained to the floor here. And we found him here when we woke up. And there's our boy, and if you look real close over on the left, you can see a teeny tiny little pair of Trico eyes. Little baby Trico. So that, you get a trophy called Though We're Far Apart for completing this game, which just also kind of really hits you right in the gut. But, so yeah, Trico's okay. There's a baby Trico, probably because that other Trico was also alright. But that was the last Guardian. Thank you so much, everybody, for all of the wonderful pets that you gave to Trico. 18 pets, I believe it was, and the any percent cutscene incentive to watch what we just watched. And of course, it all goes to a wonderful cause. So I will throw it over you to talk more about that cause and about what's coming up. But thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for that awesome run of The Last Guardian, and for watching the end credits with us as well. And thank you all for donating as well for the incentive to watch the end credits. But we have more incentives. We have more marathon coming up very soon. Up next, we have Metal Gear Solid Any Percent Very Easy, or Very Easy Any Percent, excuse me, by Tyler 2022. So stay tuned for that. And we will be right back with you in just a few minutes. Stay tuned.